Hello and welcome back to the European semi-finals. My name is John Allen. With me is Blank. We're going to be here for the EU semi-finals, as I said, for the PMCO 2019 full split. And of course, if you want to be ready to beat out anyone on the battlefield, then you need to get some seamless and uninterrupted gaming with a NEX mobile device. We've had some great games coming in over the course of the first half of these semi-finals. We're now getting into the closing stretch. Everyone now has less games to play than they have played already. So they are now over the hill, and they will start to lock in those final scores.
That they will, John. That they will. We have everyone now currently sitting on 8 games played. So we are that halfway mark. Now it's really time to make sure you get those scores in there. You get yourself to the top. You want to make sure you can hold that position on the first page there. You really don't want to be dropping down at this point. And this is where the climb becomes significantly more steep for any team from that 16th to 24th spot, where you are in danger of being cut before we go to the top regional finals.
Yeah, it is pretty much what everyone's aiming for now. The top 16 spots, 8 teams go home. Of course, if you want to keep track of what is going on there, then you're going to need to subscribe to the YouTube channel PUBG Mobile Esports, and you can stay up to date with all of the happenings across the rest of the semi-finals and, of course, the rest of the regions as well. You can see what's going on over there. And if you want to join in and play some PUBG Mobile yourself, you can download it for Android devices on the Google Play Store. And if you're on iOS, go over to the App Store and get it there. Get it that way and get involved. Get some chicken dinners.
Absolutely, John. I mean, chicken dinner's very tasty there. Part of a very healthy diet. And
you had some chicken just before
I had some chicken before this show, so I know exactly how tasty a chicken dinner is. I didn't get a PUBG Mobile chicken dinner, but that's what we're going to be looking for today. Competition system on the screen. We've already gone through the group stage. We're now in the semi-finals, John.
Yeah, we are down to 24 teams, but 16 will battle themselves through the gauntlet to come, and they will find themselves, as you say, through to the regional finals in a spot with a shot at going to those global finals over in Kuala Lumpur.
Which will be very cool, to say the least. Last time we had the global finals, their production was literally amazing.
It was really, really cool. We had Adam Walker playing live. We had all sorts of stuff going on.
I can only imagine how cool it's going to be this time.
To get there, these teams are going to have to get a couple of points on board, and this is how we're going to break them down. 1 point for 11th to 16th place, but right up there at the tippy top for that chicken dinner, you get 20 points all to your lonesome.
Exactly, and we go down a point every time you move down the ranking from 4th to 10th there. Obviously, you want to be getting towards that top 3 spot. That's where you will claim the most points for placement. But we have seen teams get towards that 5th or 4th spot with about 11 kills on board. And because each one of those is worth 1 point, you can quite feasibly still make it onto that first page and potentially even to the top just with those kind of rankings alone.
Yeah, here are the groups coming in today. Of course, it's Group E and Group F playing off. These guys have faced each other in the first day of semi-finals. In Group E, Team Unique back-to-back, No Rage, Deformia, Meditari, Asterion, Myth, Next, Magic and the Brothers Gang, one of our favourites.
One of our favourites indeed. Very, very consistent team there. And in Group F, we got Heroes IceX, a really strong team in those later circles. They had a little bit of difficulty yesterday getting going, but as soon as they revved things up, got the lawnmower purring, they were absolutely fine to get going. MVP Esports, BitEyes, Evil Esports, FROMHELLL, Kaos, Team Hope, and SIMURGA at the end there, who are still doing pretty decently.
Yeah, they are sat right at the top of the scoreboards. 133 points on board for them, clear of Unique by only 6, but they are clear. That's the main thing.
You are ahead at that point.
You are ahead. 1 point is as good as 20 when it comes to being ahead. Certainly, it will do when it comes to the final standing. Maybe at this stage it is still flexible. It's in flux, so those 6 might not matter that much. But that in itself is what, like an 8th place finish just on its own, which actually isn't that easy to get sometimes. Of course, with some circles not playing into your favor. But if you're SIMURGA, you don't have to worry about that because you get every single circle every single time because.
That's just how it goes.
That's just how it goes.
Yeah. Like you say, John, currently we're rocking the plastic ruler. A little bit bendy, we can still go places, but as we head over after this day, teams will be looking at having that metal ruler. Less bending unless you don't want to have a ruler anymore. Unless you got the one that just bends in the middle. But
yeah,
I'm not sure if that,
those were never good because you always got a little ridge on the line you were drawing.
Yeah, and you wanted a nice line.
Yeah, you do want a nice line.
So what was the point?
Exactly.
May as well just had 2 pieces.
Or 2 15-centimeter rulers. And that would have been so much better.
What
do you gain for having that? I don't like
nothing.
Almost nothing. Well, hopefully these teams have a lot to gain today. We'll be seeing the second time that these groups are going to clash. This time around, I believe we're going to be on Erangel, Sanhok, Miramar, and then Erangel once more towards the end. So we're going to have pretty much all the variations on the map there, leaving Vikendi out of it. it's a little bit different. So we'll see how these teams move from Sanhok to Miramar. Should be quite exciting. But first off, we're going to be heading over to
Yeah, we are quite Erangel focused over here in the PMCO currently. Yeah. It is the El Clasico map at the moment. Most people know how to play it. A lot of the rotations are solid. Usually what we're tending to see at the moment, though, are eastern circles and northern circles. So it'll be interesting to see a western circle today. Team Unique obviously heading over to Georgia Bowl at the beginning of the game here. A lot of places will be contested, but here's the playing path on your screen coming up very, very shortly. It is coming down from the north in Severny down to Sosnovka. So Sosnovka is going to be a late drop, and it will allow teams to get in position to deny crossings from the bridge there, potentially. But it does mean that Unique can get over to Georgia Pole quite quickly and rotate out of there very, very smoothly. Mainly people are going to be worried about School and Apps, Yasnaya, Rozok, and Georgia Pole. This middle of the map will be very, very clustered. So most teams, well, some teams might opt to go over to Milton Power, Ferry Pier, take a split in Primos. That would probably be the smart move.
Yeah, we're going to see all top 3 teams competing today. And of course, SIMURGA, as well as Team Unique, as well as Hope, all topping the tables with quite a significant jump between them and 4th place team Heroes IceX, who, by the way, are also playing today. We certainly got our top performers going on, but this group of 3 are going to be vying out for the top spot. They need to try and distinguish themselves from the competition. We'll see who's going to be the top of the top.
I think today what we've got to see is Heroes IceX getting a better early start. Yesterday they really were a little bit shoddy at the beginning of the game. Didn't do half as well as we thought they would, and then when they got to that top 2 spot, they kind of whiffed the chicken dinner quite badly. But by no means is a bad team whatsoever. Again, we have all teams dropping rather quickly. And there's the Western Circle that I was looking for. Nice to see here. Depending on how much this zones in, it does create a little bit of difficulties for a lot of teams because crossing over to the western side of the map becomes very difficult. There are a lot of fields over there by Gatka just beneath Hospital as well, which are pretty much unplayable. And also you've got to bear in mind rotating around Everest and also Quarry on the southern side of the map.
Can be pretty tricky terrain to go for. We saw a couple of teams rotating quite parallel. Seems like the break over to Georgia Pole is actually quite in competition at the moment. Kaos and SIMURGA going very close to each other. You've got Unique as well, who have stopped off just a little bit and look to let the teams go in ahead of them. See if they can take an unoccupied area. We'll see where they end up going. But at the moment, Pachinki combated for back-to-back and Asterion Myth. These 2 teams have been at each other's throats, I think, quite a few times now, even on drops.
Yeah, and really what's surprising that Asterion Myth tends to get the upper hand when it comes to positioning, but there is a lot of whiff capability from this team when it comes to the actual push when it comes through, tending to giving up positions as soon as they get a knock and maybe taking unfavorable spots in favor of aggression, which I'm not always a big fan of. Currently, Evil down in Sosnovka. Everybody knows that these guys like to hold down here. When they get it to themselves, it's even better. But they do have to be worried, like I was saying before. Because this was a north to south drop, a lot of teams are already situated around Milta, around Farm, just to the east of Ferry Pier too. So these bridges out of Sosnovka can be very difficult for Evil, so we'll check back in with them later.
Of course, I've talked about it before, but in general, the Eastern Bridge in Europe is much more dangerous, certainly with this set of teams that we're going forwards with. It generally tends to be the case that those compounds are more heavily held, but with this circle, I wouldn't be too surprised to see some teams actually moving out west and controlling the opening from the bridge on the western side. So maybe if Evil read too much into that or don't read enough into the circle, they might come into a little bit of contact over there. At the moment, Hope, they're kind of near the bridge. They're not right on it. NEX are actually moving away from it, so they might be okay with that, but there's still plenty of teams yet to go for those rotations.
And there's a huge amount of ground that's currently unclaimed by a lot of these teams. Other standings on the left side here. Nice little bit of production magic for you guys at home. Let you know exactly where people are standing currently.
Yeah, that's 10 teams on the board. I think they're all playing today. Oh, no, wait. No, that is just the entire standing. Sorry, that's the top 10 coming on through. Mm-hmm. As you can see there, we've got the top 3 playing currently. And top 4 playing currently as well, actually.
Yeah, I think E and F are currently...
We've got NEX as well. We've got the top 5 playing.
Yeah, E and F is a very, very scary couple of groups here I think G has definitely some good teams in it, but I think it is ENF who we are currently looking at as our top 16 currently. But yeah, as I was saying, John, a lot of the ground is just completely uncovered right now. And it's what we tend to see with Europe is that they'll have these standoffs with other teams and then just be so reluctant to leave. And in any case, there are like a lot of nice compounds here. There's the GOG compound just south of Gatka, which is currently unclaimed by a lot of teams. Really nice high ground down there. I think NEX are in a really good position here if they move quickly and they get onto the southern side, because it will be very, very difficult to hit the southern side of this western circle very soon. And if NEX can claim that, it will mean a lot of teams will be pushing into them.
I'm quite surprised that Pubg hasn't been claimed by a single team just yet. There's still 2 teams going for it. I mean, this is the third time that this set of teams will have played Erangel. Yeah. And the fact that it's still Asterion Myth and still back-to-back actually vying for control, to me, says that they're maybe being a little bit too bloody-minded. You know, there's been plenty of times where they've lost so much power just from these rotations. Just find another drop location. You know?
Yeah, exactly, John.
I mean, it's nice. It's a great location to have, sure, but
I've yet to see anyone do the Gatka split. There's a lot of compounds there you can take very early on and split your team up and loot that way. And literally no one ever does it. And Asterion Myth, like you're saying, with back-to-back as well, they just hang around for far too long. Militia currently taking a fight with SMG. Muriquen, Jetgill here. Jetgill in a little bit of a tough position.
Danny does have a little bit of a tricky task, but he'll make it happen on the drop shots. Will go down for his trouble, however. On the backside, it's Militia and Leeuwen. Leeuwen looks to maybe try and finish this one off, but there's shots coming in. Muriquen might not be able to project Jetgill, but he is right in the middle there. I think that was a nade coming out. It might just be able to find it. Oh, Leeuwen goes very low. So does Danny. Another one would do it, but they haven't got time. They have to just back out. Nicely done from SIMURGA to hold down the ruins.
Very nice play. They're going to get back on top of things as well soon. See, Jetgill's still currently on the floor. Muriquen, it's really the guardian of SMG right now.
Currently, the other half of SIMURGA over in South George on the western side. There's no way that they have backup here. So if Muriquen goes down, that is it. They need to get Jetgill back up.
It's a super hard split. That's it. Now these two players are now doomed. It doesn't matter how long it takes for MVP to make their way over. At some point, they will just be finished regardless. So SIMURGA down to half manpower. Not really too good for them. The other two players currently in vehicles looking to take a strong position within the circle. Central. I like this. This is the correct decision here. Now they just want to stay out as many fights as possible. Why? Just leave. Yeah. Just leave Pubg.
Well, yeah, okay. So now they're going back and forth. It's more often than not that these two teams are both losing at least one player, probably two more than likely. In so many of these situations, Asterion Myth look to lose a few more, but you can see back-to-back are right down to it. They've only got one player left standing.
Now, Asterion Myth are in the same boat. I mean, you have essentially come out of this fight with 3 points. Was it really worth it?
Nobody's a winner. Nobody is a winner here. No matter who wins, they're still going to be down to 2 players. And it's just not optimal. Asterion Myth, they're on the outside. They do get the flanks. The window's really not giving any cover. But the victory is bittersweet. They control Pubg for now, though, so maybe they're looking to the future. There's a lot of Erangel games left to play. And in fact, Asterion Myth and back-to-back are in the same group, which means that
they can continue having this fight.
They will be playing every single Erangel map in their group, which is a total of 8 Erangel maps between them against each other.
Just choose a different spot, like you say, John. And there's so much unclaimed area on this map currently, with a lot of teams going over to South George, a lot of teams being hard on that eastern side by Lipovka, Milta, and Novo
as well.
Yeah, exactly. So it doesn't make any sense to continue to try and claim power within Pubg, because you have to leave Pubg.
I mean, this is the 3rd time they will have played it. So to be fair, if it's gone one, I would have to look back and see who's won Pubg the other 2 times. I can understand dropping there twice and thinking, okay, we can take this back. But if that's now the 3rd time that someone's lost, they really do need to get a new location, because they aren't winning it.
I think back-to-back got it last time. Asterion Myth got it this time. I'm unsure of the first time, though.
We'll have to wait and see till the end of today to see if they go for it again. And then
You know
then,
they will.
I'm pretty sure they will as well. Next circle, pretty central. Not really going to do too much to move people away. Really just cutting out a lot of the water from the previous circle is what this one's going to do.
And then next, in a couple of phases time, we'll get that hard shift as well. There's no real need for it. I mean, I don't think it's going to affect the position of the circle too much. But very much clustered right now. A lot of teams trying to take advantage of as many of these small compounds as possible, which are around the fields of Gatka. Deformia and Meditari, they are all up on MVP, I believe.
Yeah, they are currently duking it out. MVP just sort of let them in to the building. They didn't really have any fire out on the way. You can see there's another team waiting in the wing. That's HIceX as well along the way. Silas has complete overwatch on this. As soon as they pop out, he just gets the spray. Look at this. It's brutal from the sidelines. MVP actually getting the knocks, however. HIceX just doing so much work into this fight. Deformia and Meditari get completely shut down on the push. They open a door. They get taken out. And now Silas is starting to rattle off this M4. They haven't got any knocks yet, but MVP are very low.
Danny does go down. See, the thing is with this is we'll see HIceX do this so many times, is they'll take a strong position like this, just beneath ruins, and wait for this compound to be taken, which undoubtedly it will do at some point. And now they're going against a crippled team who have little supplies left. Healing is now limited. Utility would have been used to prevent the push from Deformia and Meditari.
No way.
That was a very nice little spray there.
Nice reactions coming out from Silas. Does fall back. We'll be able to get the heal off. So nicely done. HIceX, the point man, doing work. We'll get a knock on him as well, which means that there's now 2 players left for MVP. Up and kicking. They're right at the back of the compound as well, which is going to make it hard for them to break forwards to get those reses and restock their troops. Silas is very low. We'll have to heal up. And it looks like MVP, they're just going to abandon their 2 teammates. They do not want any part of this fight. And they're going to run away, tail between their legs, give over those 2 points to HIceX.
At least they don't go for the pride play, which is good in this situation. You can take your pride, reclaim it later, try and get into those top spots, ladder up. Homer goes down to the explosion, as does Motvik. I believe that might even be BitIce losing 2 players, still have 2 players on the map. Nico now coming in. FROMHELL have a pretty strong position directly in the middle of the map. No one opting to take Everest currently. There's no real point here.
Ooh. Unique taking a fight that they don't really want against Asterion, Myth and Magic on 2 compounds, on 2 fronts. They're looking for the res, and they look like they're going to be able to get it. They are relatively well grouped. They will be able to get this res onto Rogue, but I don't think they realize that Asterion Myth was waiting in the wings there. Of course, they are down to 2 players after the Pachinki fight, so they have reduced capacity to go for these rushes, but it looks like the rest of Unique now atop the hill might just be able to get oversight.
That they might, John. Circle goes dead central on the map, as you can see. Kaos still on that western side, making their way down. And SIMURGA, they weren't too happy with this shift because it means that their fairly safe position on the edge of the circle now becomes highly compromised because now they have to move through the fields into a lot of compounds where BitIce, NEX, also Militia will be trying to hold.
That was one of the knocks, I believe, from earlier. Onto Geki. He's just hiding behind a tree. MVP trying to claim back some points after their defeat over in the compound against HIceX. But they've already got 6 kills. They've already done quite a decent job of getting some points on the board at the moment. Of course, they're sat in 9th currently.
Yeah.
So they should just be able to maintain.
They did come from all the way in Lipovka. Now there's no teams on the eastern side still come into the circle. Brothers Gang currently claim that area, so they have a pretty easy time making their way in.
HIceX. Sorry to jump in there, but only Sun HP now left. And they're really looking shaky. They just rolled straight through the middle of about 3 different teams. Silas goes down. I think it's just Sun HP, as I said before, up and alive. The rest of his team's gone. All right, No Rage holding down one of the chopsticks.
Yeah, Thunder Drains. They're gonna provide so much cover to this team. No Rage can just pop up and down. A lot of third-person advantage thrown in here. We got Zumba from Team Hope. Team Hope doing marvelously well yesterday. Looking for the shots onto Kaos, but currently Zumba is pretty exposed to literally everyone around as he plays on this hillside.
The reason he's comfortable doing this is if you look to the north of him, that's his backside as well. He's got 2 players on that other compound, so feels a little bit more confident there. Son HP not being given any rest. As Helios just lays out that smoke. They want to go for this push. They want to take him down as soon as possible. Eliminate Heroes IceX here. Of course, No Rage sat down in 10th. A little bit less than what they were able to achieve in the group stages. So they do want to take out one of those higher placing teams at the moment. They're covering themselves, getting some loot on board. Nicely done. They'll be able to maintain this left storm drain for a little bit longer.
Problem is that Heroes IceX Sun HP is currently taking damage from elsewhere too. It's almost very certain this player is not going to last much longer. He is very much an open ground right now where everyone can take a look at him. Asterion not really moving. No Rage. They're happy to play his position for a little while longer. And the circle now shifts across to Asterion. Myth, happy with this one. Unique also on the hillside. Have a nice little vantage point onto a lot of teams coming in. Evil underneath them, heavily looted from Sosnovka. And FROMHELL now thinking about making the move. They are the closest to wandering into the circle, but they could also just kind of gatekeep the 4 teams currently outside.
Evil with a really long shot onto... okay. I thought it was a little bit longer than it was, but no. They do still get a knock onto Unique on the hillside. There's Sun HP finally going down. That will be Heroes IceX eliminated 14th place. Not the best turn up. Only 2 kills, I believe, on them, so 3 points total for the 4th place team. Just having a little bit more control now over that southeastern side. The Brothers gang, as I said before, they captured our hearts over in the group stages with some of their wackier plays, and what they've managed to do is step it up a notch. But stepping up, it's hope. Up to the plate, they're getting batted back. However, 2 of them already knocked, trying to roll up on Magic, but the compound being held really quite well here. Horosh going for the trade out the window, but it's not going to be there. Nice hold down. Magic, I believe they only get knocked twice as well. If with a third-party potential coming in from Mystery Myth up the hill, I would say that's a great success.
It is a pretty good success there. Magic, though, do take heavy fire from Unique. Unique looking to destroy all the vehicle's wheels that just pulled up there, prevent the movement coming out unless it's on foot. They're going to drop some smokes behind them, prevent this fire coming through from No Rage as well as Brothers Gang. Because this hillside is really strong for Unique, currently providing a lot of cover, a lot of nice high ground to play from. They want to hold on to it as long as possible, and if they want to do that, they have to cover angles with smokes.
Unique controlling the top of the hill might prove difficult for Brothers Gang to dismount, for No Rage as well to come on in and duke it out. Unique will know exactly what's going on. Chaos as well around this hillside. SIMURGA way out on the northern side. Relatively safe. FROMHELL taking a fight on the western flank as well. These hillsides so dangerous for people to try and push up on, especially when there's a DP in play.
Yeah, Odin just drops the DP onto Lutz. Lutz just immediately goes down. And with that, No Rage is leaving despite the really good position they had in Chopsticks before. FROMHELL now rocking up on to Magic down the way. Unique will have eyes on this, though.
This is the second crash they're going to have suffered. FROMHELL a little bit more successful on the approach. No one getting knocked just yet. And 2 of Magic are going down as well. They control the ground floor. There is 1 player outside that they might need to worry about, but they spot him out. Deuce is out the window. He pairs himself up, gets himself 2 now, and it's 2 kills for FROMHELL.
It was a smart rotate from Deuce's back into the actual building rather than walking around. Did hear the shots coming down from Unique, who keep giving that compound a little bit of a peppering with bullets. Chaos, though, have been doing a little bit better than we first saw them do at the beginning of the semi-finals. They are still quite low down on the actual rankings, but they're trying to make their way back up from 19th place. They have Evil to contend with now. Like I said before, Evil, very heavily looted, but they had to make a pretty tough rotation to get up here.
The hillside might be kind to them, though, if someone else has to challenge Unique as well, namely Chaos there. Going to have to push through, especially with this next shift going very, very central, straight onto Asterion as well. They've been very lucky. This circle currently just west of Pachinki. They've had to rotate probably a total of 500 meters away from their original drop location, which means that they've opened themselves up to way less fights, and you can see this is the reason why they still have 2 players going. SIMURGA taking a fight with MVP and actually doing pretty well. Going to be able to eliminate most of that northern side. Only Daddy left now for MVP, as the next circle will push people in.
SIMURGA going to be happy with that. A little bit of revenge from earlier. Brother's fakes on it, takes a nade through the window. Asterion trying to hold down this compound for as long as possible. Brothers Gang have just rocked up. Intruders.
Asterion Myth only 2 though. They might not be able to hold it. A nade in through the window, not quite enough. Next in the warehouse might be next up. And Prolord's just getting shunted side to side. Has to find a little bit of safety behind whatever cover he can get. Will be able to hold on to it for now. Won't get naded out just for the moment.
No. Really, it's just a lot of rotation coming through from the southern side right now, John. Evil attempting to get in, taking shots from Unique. Old Boy does take down one of their players. Kaos also making an anti-clockwise rotation up towards Pachinki, hoping to avoid these fields and insert themselves on the road. But a lot of these compounds have eyes on, John. It's very difficult to make your way in at this point from the south side.
Evil have made their foothold known in front of Unique, which means that they potentially have a rotation path ahead of Unique's tempo. If they can get out, they can get in. Fantastic. They might be able to edge guard, but at the moment, Nico actually playing spoiler, getting a kill on the back.
Oh, wow.
Pretty nice for the last remaining player from BitIce. SIMURGA, they've taken 1 knock now. Panda, last remaining standing for SIMURGA. Will probably want to be getting this the teammate res on up, but it's going to be pretty tricky. They're split on cover right now. There's no way Morteza gets away from this.
Morteza, more than anything, just a distraction tool for Panda so he can make his way into the circle. Brothers Gang still directly on top of Asterion Myth. NEX currently holding the warehouse on the way. NEX actually doing really well in the semifinals so far. They're coming in on 4th. A very different look from what we saw in the group stages where they were a little bit more quiet. KS are just playing hard edge currently, but Unique still hold the hillside, and they've done a lot with it.
They have done pretty well, certainly. Asterion Myth still trucking on. They're doing some nice work. They have had a lot of circle luck here, moving on up, but Brothers Gang, they're going to be probably the dominant force here on the southern side. Next, controlling the northern side. These buildings are just so deadly. The next shift is onto them as well. They'll be able to be there. Actually, Panda in with a little bit of luck there. Won't have to crawl too far. Not too much cover in front of him, however.
A literal smorgasbord of compounds here. Everybody's going to share. Chaos now have to move their way into the circle over the fields, which is real tough for them. They're going to be spotted out by all these teams currently holding the compounds who are protected from one another just by the structures around them. And Unique now just razzing it in.
Over the field and through the woods to Brothers Gang's house we go. The Unique squad roll on up. They're trying to take the fight. They're opening up the windows. Will Asterion Myth chime in? That's what I'm worried about. Unskill goes down, confirmed by Old Boy. Racking up those kills once more. Only 1 player, though.
This is fine, though. They claim a little bit of house here. Fake Sonic is upstairs.
There was only a total of 3 to start with in the Brothers Gang. They're down to 2 now. Unique huffed and puffed and blew the bottom floor of that house down. Fakes on it, has to go out the door at the top as well. Yeah. Or try and retreat to his brother's house.
Looking to hide in the closet. It would seem Fakes on it actually.
Oh, he misses
He's
all
going
of
to
that.
take the fight.
Tries to get it in through the window, but it's not quite there. FROMHELL taking heavy punishment on that western side as well. Unique continue to take the fight. Fakes on it, falls. Only 1 brother is left standing. We'll see if he can hold on for now, because Unique have claimed one of the houses. Now 4 teams in this compound. Next, just waiting out in the shed.
Yeah.
Trying to hold it down. Asterion Myth know exactly where Old Boy is.
Old Boy peeking.
Oh, he really wants that. You can smell it.
Poser. Oh, you cheeky boy. I will pop up. I will pop up in a second. But the thing is that it was actually a very good push from Unique. They pushed onto the closed-off side of the building here, meaning that Asterion and NEX both couldn't take fire onto them whilst they removed Brothers Gang quite surgically from this building. So very well played to them. And now they got a little bit of room to play with now.
They're thinking about where they want to go. I don't think they want to stick around too long. Not too sure what their plan is, but they might try and just sweep through that compound. 7 teams still remaining, Blank. We're almost into phase 7. They are going to go up pretty fast. The nade is out. Unique. They want to wipe Brothers Gang. They want to go straight on him. Yeah, there we go. He'll spot him out. One goes down. Yasha not there to back him up. Actually, both of the unique players fall as they push on in, but in goes Rogue, able to get it just before he's able to clean it up. Both of those players should be able to get res, but it's pretty tricky. Asterion Myth now controlling Chaos.
Oh, nice nade over the top.
They control...
Oh, it's Coursera.
They capture lightning in a bottle, and Chaos is stunted for now. Unique. They will be able to maintain full force now into this compound. They've got 2 of the 3 buildings. Asterion Myth playing up high. Panda gets spotted out by Yasha. 5 teams remain, so SIMURGA, they might have done enough to get themselves a decent result. They want to hold on for as long as possible. FROMHELL making that rotation. Looks like they want to take down Panda instead. But it's Yasha to claim the prize there.
Unique currently just plucking teammate players out of the way, which is really nice. They're just trying to set themselves up for the late game, so they only have to watch one direction when they get there. FROMHELL desperately want to move in. They have the smoke cover, but Unique, they've got all eyes on, and White makes the dangerous move in. He gets there, though.
Gives himself a little bit of cover. The smoke's up close to the wall. Make it pretty difficult to see, but Unique, they're outside. They're pushing. A little bit maybe over-aggressive. Asterion Myth, they pop up and take down Old Boy as well on those sidelines. White hits the deck. They're going to get the res as well, so Unique still have all 4. They're still playing with it. Next now. They think it's their time to strike. Asterion Myth still peppering onto Unique. Rogue goes down and Kitsune to follow. And all of a sudden, Unique's reign is completely wiped out. They get eliminated. Or they're down to 1, sorry. They do drop it pretty low. Yasha still safe upstairs.
Yeah, Unique in a real hard spot right now. In comes a nade. What an excellent time to jump out there. Just dodges the bullet or the nade.
Don't think anyone will have spotted it. Rogue will go down. And now Yasha, the last remaining survivor of the power squad. Coming in from Unique. They've got plenty of kills.
Stairs, yeah. Not an extra blocked off the stairs there with the vehicle. Makes the rush really difficult. FROMHELL.
Oh, there he goes.
Just prevent the deserter. You are not getting away from this building. You're part of the team now, buddy.
I think that might have been Asterion Myth who blocked off the stairs there. They are holding the top at the moment, which means that NEX won't be able to push it down. Nice play. They give themselves their castle to protect, and the circle goes to them for it. Now 3 teams remain.
Literally have a drawbit bridge on the stairs there, which is very much closed. FROMHELL gets a nice position on the high ground, though.
He's got to spot Prolord
I'm
there.
about this.
Oh, the backpack's out, the spray is in, and it's just too much. Not going to be found fully, though. Poser might just try and roll in to protect his teammate, but Prolord very, very low
He's
now.
going down quick as well.
Yeah, he's not moving. Prolord will get eliminated. 3 teams remain now blank. 7 players in the mix. Next, they are on 3. FROMHELL have 2 in the building that's been occupied so far by, I think, at least 3 different squads. Crashed onto, attempted by probably way more than that, but it's a house of death for so many. Those boxes will be littered all around. But they should be pretty looted in FROMHELL. Should have pretty much everything they want. Topson with a great position here. Has so much power. I don't know if he knows where Poser is.
Yeah, I love this spot from Topson right now. White holding down the low ground. NEX still with 4 players. Understand that Asterion is upstairs, but they're happy to play in the shade. In comes the loot crate as well behind them.
Oh, he's found his way
Andy's
up.
trying to get up, but it's Topson.
He protects Poser. That's a really nice turn up. He should have let him get the kill. If we're honest, probably would have been able to ladder up a couple more points. This ladder up, of course, worth 4 points total. A really, really important one. The next circle away from pretty much everyone as well. Next, with the dominant position. Oh, Topson. He's sneaky. Wow. They will have heard this, though. They'll hear these footsteps. There's no way that they haven't.
This is a hyper-aggressive play. Now the players from FROMHELL trying to take them down. Slowboss comes out, and now, like you said, John, potentially should have taken down Poser. Because now it's only Poser posing a threat to NEX.
And without FROMHELL's threat over on the opposing roof, he's got the high ground. Poser might be able to spot some of these NEX players coming out. He's already seen Harb. Goes to the spray. Isn't going to be able to connect it. Has to fall back as the blue is creating pressure now, Blank. They know exactly where he has to jump out from as well. He can just hold in the stairwell. Oh my goodness me.
Yeah.
I don't think there's too many angles that they can actually lob nades in from there.
No. They're desperately going for it as well. They're trying to clear the rat out, but they just cannot do it. Poser...
The thing is, it's a matter of time, right?
Yeah. Poser may be able to do something in one circumstance if he gets an insane nade through, but there he goes.
There we go. the play zone claims it in the end, but it is NEX to take it home. A much desired victory. They were currently sat in 5th, and that's going to put them up with the big boys. 3 kills only, though. Really being spread out across the rest of the teams. FROMHELL getting a lot of kills on them.
Absolutely, a total of 9 kills there. Unique, I think, came away with about 8 kills total. But coming in the 3rd spot with that 10-point advantage, you whack 9 kills on top of there, you're running away with 19 points. You're really happy with that one. It's a very cool logo as well, you have to admit.
That is pretty cool. I'm a big fan.
Snake wolf.
Was that a snake? Yeah, is that a snake wolf?
I've never seen such a
Did you know
beast.
that they are esports professionals? And you know that?
Next joke, please.
No, not yet.
Unlucky. But yeah, good game overall. Next, they take the position on the south side, and they were very happy to just continue playing with 4 players. I think that was the smart decision from them. Play it safe. I remember they were all the way on the other side of the compound there, and they just moved in slowly but surely. Sure, they didn't take a huge amount of kills, but 3 points, 20 points on top of that for the 1st place for the chicken dinner as well. 23 points, nothing to be sad about. And you can definitely cry home with that one.
Nice stuff coming out from NEX. Of course, they let everyone else fight over this garage building. They were just out in the shed, as I said, just tinkering away.
Yeah.
Biding their time, and from the shadows they strike and get themselves a glorious chicken dinner, of course. Fantastic stuff, I have to say. Great to see it. Asterion Myth staying in pretty late as well. That will be a good turn up for them in terms of their point scores at the moment. They were set down in 14th before, so that might bump them up just a little bit further.
Yeah, this is good for them. This is really good for them. I mean, we had a lot of the teams up in the top there who were already quite far up the rankings right now, so now we're starting to see a couple of the teams from the pack start to break away from the peloton. So this is very good right now. I'm very happy to see it. I think Asterion Myth more than anyone going to be happy with that when they're all the way down in 14th. And you have the scoreboard up on your screen right now. 20 points for Asterion Myth, 23 for NEX. So it's a very even split between the 1st and the 5th spot.
It's actually quite a shallow curve here in terms of how the points ramp up. I would say this is probably one of the more even boards we've seen, with the kills going pretty evenly across and the points as well descending in regular intervals, a little bit more so than perhaps before. Unique to SIMURGA, quite a decent jump there, 5 points, and actually that was 1 less than the gap between them, which means SIMURGA do hold on to that top spot by 1 point just for now.
That's all they need. They just need that 1 point, that 1 point difference. They can feel very, very good about themselves for one more game, hopefully, at least. Team Unique looking to basically run ahead, though. These guys are sprinting towards that #1 spot. They had a pretty good game there. I like the positions they controlled. They're a very, very smart team, very intelligent on where they play. They tried to remove as many threats from behind them as possible, which they did very well. What I think they didn't do so well was aggressively pushing onto Brothers Gang, and then thinking everyone would be as easy to take as Brothers Gang, which is just not the case.
And also, Brothers Gang, by the way, somehow they've done it again. 8 points for them, so again, maintaining that average. They were sat in 11th before this game with 76 points on 8 games, which is pretty much exactly where you want to be in terms of getting through for those semi-finals. So here we go. Total scoreboard. SIMURGA still set atop by 1 point. The gap closes. Still 4 kills more for SIMURGA, but 3 more placement points for Unique. Hope still holding that 3rd spot away from NEX, but for how much longer? 1 more top performer has joined that peloton. We're now seeing that 1st and 2nd vied for, and the 3rd and 4th as well being potential swap-up.
FROMHELL there of 107. I mean, they did actually pretty well this game. They had some really good crashes despite having pretty poor positions to play from because they were coming from the western side and the circle just kept running away from them, essentially. So they did pretty well there. Here's IceX going down. They took a nasty hit from No Ray to the beginning of the game there. Footballers, they're not in this group currently, but they will go down once again. This team did pretty well yesterday to keep themselves on that top leaderboard on this #1 page. So happy with what they did. Brothers Gang, still a knife. Just chilling around this area. This is excellent for them.
Yeah, they're down 6 points off a 10-point average at the moment over 9 games. That's okay. Over 9-point averages will probably see you safe into the regional finals, which is sort of where everyone's going to be looking for, obviously. This is the page of teams that are in danger of that situation. Cream Esports EU, I believe they've only played 7 going on, but right down to the bottom now, we go to the last page.
On the bottom of that last page, though, that we just saw, it's back-to-back. They're in 16th. If you're in 16th and you continue to take this fight with Asterion in Pachinki, it feels like a mistake to me. You don't want to be going for that kind of play. You want to be doing something what Pro was doing yesterday. Sure, Pro didn't get a lot of points, but they were trying to quarantine themselves away from a lot of teams and look for that late game, because they know that the further they get in the game, the more points they're going to require, and they don't have to get a load of kills to do it. Back-to-back, they keep shooting themselves in the foot early on, essentially.
Let's take a look at the kill leaderboard. Morteza, over 9 games, putting up 30 kills. That's right up there with the kill leaders from the group stages over 12 games. So fantastic performances coming out from them. Kitsune and Rogue obviously having the shout in from Unique, but Eclipse from Dream Eater's doing very, very well. But the top 2 really standing out at the moment. Matic and Morteza.
Matic is it's pretty ridiculous to watch.
Yeah.
Like, he gets literal 200-meter shots on an M4 or a DP all the time.
Yeah.
Morteza, though, with 30 kills, with, I think, 9 matches played now, is literally insane. Like, that is a massive score. And when you watch this guy, you know why he has that amount of kills. His sprays are on point. His pushes are smart. And even when he's playing with man disadvantage, he's still able to somehow lead his team into victory. I think he has literally half the kills of his team. They're saddled with 64 points, I believe, for kills.
4 kills total.
How mad is that?
That is pretty mad. That is pretty mad indeed. But will the madness continue to reign on through? We're going to be heading over to our next map after the break. When we come back, we'll have map number 2. We're going to be going over to Sanhok, having a little bit more chaos thrown your way. So do not go anywhere. We'll see you after the break.
PUBG Mobile Team Deathmatch. Anytime, anywhere. There is a better choice.
Knock 2 go through as well as Zezzy chimes on through. And now on the back it's Daddy to get shut down. Beautiful stuff coming in from the footballist. There's your flank. Only the last player remaining for the footballist now, Blank. They have 7 kills. They're the 9th team in. And it's 1 versus 1. The spray from the Vector not quite landing. They got the suppressor on there. They have a little bit more time for Anashi. He pushes around the corner, takes a little bit of damage, but the reload, oh no!
So SMG going to be very wary of a lot of crashes about to come their way.
Speaking of crashes though, it's Heroes IceX straight into the open arms of the Romania team, but Silas.
A little bit of the pressure right now.
Solus goes down, Heroes IceX, they're getting peppered. Hope are there on the sidelines from Hell. Unfortunate position for them. They get taken down, they get rotated on by Evil, and in goes the fight. Bro, taking it to the footballist.
Oh.
Okay.
Pan. Oh, it's the nade. Oh no, it's just a smoke, just a smoke, just a smoke. He doesn't know. He does not know the Mad Dog lies.
Yeah.
Are they just going to leave him?
I think they might.
Oh, they've given him a smoke as well.
That's so good for him.
Is this a 5-player team? What are we seeing here?
A few moments later.
And IND are just giving... Oh no, he's going to spot that.
No, he does.
Surely he didn't.
Come on, Slayer.
Oh my goodness.
It's in your namesake. You've got to take him down, son.
No
Mad Dog's
way.
still there.
This guy is literally free soloing right now.
He's solo squatting.
12 seconds later.
Around here, Salty Squad also taking down Godlike, and they've done a great job to stay into it, but can Mad Dog just stay here? He is now
Do you think he
moving.
can jump in the vehicle? If he gets in?
It will be. Oh no, he's actually taking the shot!
Oh, he's not quite able to get the knock. First one, swaps his weapon, looking for Slayer.
Ooh, we almost got a run over there. We got
Grego! Oh, the make out over here.
He's turning on
Oh, the jukes are real right now. Grego, can Grego connect over here? If I was Grego,
He's giving it up.
no,
No, he hasn't. He's
take it
juking
off.
back. He's coming
Yeah,
double back,
going
fake it.
back.
Ooh.
Oh, this is it. This is it.
Oh, it has to be.
Oh!
Got him! Come on, he's
There
knocked
we
over.
go.
He's got to get out and give him the BML. Not
Just chilling, like near the circle. They don't want to get into any fights, especially they have executors on the same city right there. So maybe just gonna chill. And that was close. That was interesting.
Is the nasty baby
Ooh,
drop.
look at
But
this.
Justice finally falling in. DJS is in a lot of trouble here, but Justice gets shot upon by Yai. He's one of the players trying to run away, but he actually hits a tree. Now he will be put out and will be sprayed down, and they will be able to knock him down on the floor.
The teams that are right at the bottom.
Has he not spotted Nico though? Yeah, he's just a little bit hidden. Oh, now
my
he's going
lord.
to spot him.
Yeah.
How can he not have done? He gets over the wall before he gets knocked. Fantastic.
does get a lot of damage on the tray, but the red cannons are all over this movement at the moment.
And there they go, Critical Esports out in number 15. Actually, no, it's not even the team we've been watching. That's a different team altogether, but...
Ooh, that does a fair bit of damage too, knocking these players to half HP. That Molotov they threw in previously does get a knockout. This might be the signal to go, go, go. Pushing in here. There is one player just sitting on the deck, knocked out. But the Molotov is actually burning himself with it, so this is a Molotov he dropped down earlier.
Hello and welcome back to the European region semi-finals for the PMCO 2019 full split. My name is John Allen Blank. Over here.
Oh, what? You can't
This guy.
just point at me and say blank.
Blank John.
Blank John. Show.
PMCO.
We go.
PUBG Mobile with NEX. Bringing you a more immersive, more powerful, and a more outstanding performance. Of course, you can get yourself a glorious chicken dinner. Fantastic gaming coming out from them and fantastic gaming coming out from our teams, Blank.
Really, really good plays overall. Very enjoyable last circle there. Pretty much everyone staying in the same house. A little bit of a holiday abroad in Erangel. Unfortunately, the holiday did not end well, and only 4 men went home. So, kind of sad here for these teams.
If you do want to take a look back at what happened last game, of course, you're going to need to head over to the YouTube channel. You can subscribe over there. Of course, that's PUBG Mobile Esports, and check out all the action coming at you from there, not just from the European region, but all the other regions as well. I'll have it all for you to peruse at your leisure. And should you want to join in with the fighting, join in with the fray, you can head over to the Google Play Store on Android devices and the iOS App Store as well to download yourself PUBG Mobile and get into the game. Where are you dropping?
Probably dropping Erangel first because it doesn't download the other maps immediately. You have to do that on afterwards. I didn't know, and I went straight into Erangel. And I was like, where's the other maps? I played that literally 10 times before I was like, I'm only playing Erangel here. Something must be wrong.
To be fair, Erangel's a great map. Right?
It was, yeah. I wasn't complaining. I was just wondering where the other maps were.
That is true. And of course, we're going to be playing one of those other maps now. It's coming up next. We've got Sanhok. Should be great to see a lot of these teams start to take on one another in a slightly more chaotic format. Will we see Asterion Myth and back-to-back fight it out? I think we've seen back-to-back being dropped over towards boot camp more often than not, and facing off
Asterion
against
Myth
a few
also go there
teams
though, as well.
This is the thing, right? They just hot drop. They just keep going, and at the moment, back-to-back are really suffering.
Yeah, I mean, back-to-back aren't doing too badly off of it from the last game. I mean, they won, but then they died pretty much. Oh, no, they died. They died.
Yeah, they died, and then Asterion Myth made it to, like, the final circle as well.
So it's like it goes back and forth. It's like a pendulum at the moment. We'll see how it pans out here on boot camp. But in our humble opinion, and I'm sure your humble opinion at home, maybe they should change spots. Potentially.
Maybe. That might be just a little suggestion there.
Yeah.
Change your spot.
Go elsewhere.
Yeah.
I think Sanhok definitely quite a chaotic map type for sure.
Yeah.
But what does come with Sanhok is fluid rotations, in my opinion, because I think you have to, like, it's like a Build-A-Bear type of rotation style where you have to think about where you're going next in relation to the playing path, in relation to the fights you're hearing around you, in relation to where you can actually get through. A lot of teams get caught on the side of Quarry and just find it very difficult to get in on the southern side of the map there. So all in all, Sanhok is actually a very exciting map, in my opinion. I do really like watching this map for sure.
Yeah, I would definitely agree with that. It's a lot more dependent on IGL skill, right? In terms of being able to be aware of the entire map, right? Over on things like Vikendi, it relies on scouting and then processing that information, which is a different sort of skill.
It's a little bit slower, yeah.
Yeah, it's a little bit slower, but the speed at which you need to be making these calls on Sanhok is just so much faster, and it requires a special sort of mindset to be able to do it. And I wouldn't even be surprised if they have separate IGLs for Sanhok just to try and assuage some of that.
Yeah, you just got one guy who's
extra pressure
directly plugged into the soil of Sanhok. He knows what's going on.
Yeah, he permanently lives in the jungle.
Yeah. They bring him back in to play PUBG Mobile on PMCO days.
They cart him in.
Yeah.
They take off the face mask and it's like, I'm here to IGL.
I'm here to IGL, Sanhok only. Yeah. I think you are right, John. I think you have to be very quick on the draw. But not only that, you've got to praise the other players on the team as well who are able to follow those directions going forward. Got the little fly through on the screen for you there with Sanhok. Beautiful map indeed. And here is the map coming up right now. North to south here, fairly central, directly cutting through Painam Paradise Resort and Sami at the bottom there, coming into match number 2 of today.
Will back-to-back and Asterion Myth clash once again, or are they going to be proverbial leopards and never change their spots on these drops? We'll have to wait and see. The bootcamp plane has now come through, so we'll see if they are going to jump on out.
We'll see if they can... Oh no. Yeah, here we go. Here it comes. straight into boot camp. Get in, lads. You
go.
do that.
I think there's 3 teams currently over boot camp. Only 2 are sticking around. It looks like Deformia, Meditari. Oh no, wait.
There's 2 teams. There's 3 teams, but it
There
looks
is
like
one. Yeah, they're parting out over towards the west just a little bit. But Deformia, Meditari,
and back to back.
and back to back will be playing in here. The hot drops just keep on coming for back to back, and not doing too well off it. They're currently sat in 16th place with a game advantage over a lot of the teams below them as well.
Asterion Myth, pick up on the hints there. They go down to Bantai. Very central circle though, John. Pretty much everywhere encapsulated. Zumba does go down, as does Zakif to the floor.
Wow, okay. MVP, No Rage as well, clashing. Hope are clashing over in Painan. We've got fights popping off pretty much everywhere here, Blank. This, of course, on the southeastern side of the Northwestern Island for No Rage. They did spot a couple of the MVP players landing. MVP currently quite split, and actually one of the players from Hope in the way of the rotation path for the remaining player on the mainland for MVP.
Weird thing for me about Europe so far, and what I've noticed, is that they tend not to claim a lot of land when they first drop. Dropping directly next to one another, or just going like directly in central side. If you see this, Ban is not occupied, neither is Bravo, neither is Alpha. Docks is clear, Caves is clear, Nakami is clear.
Camp Bravo.
It's kind of crazy that none of these places are claimed when there is so much space to be walking around. With Sanhok, you tend to get a pretty central circle. So, and because the map is small, you can travel on foot very easily.
Yeah.
It makes little to no sense to me that these teams would drop so close together. Now, I understand these teams want to get a little bit of an advantage in the beginning, get those kill points on the board. I know you guys love to see those kills at home too, but I'm sure these teams would also like to get towards the upper echelons of the rankings. And when you've been able to do your research on a smaller group pool as well, with only 24 teams in here, and you only have to research for the 8 others that you're playing against today, you should be able to pretty much figure out where these teams are going and plan accordingly for it. Unless the European teams are literally just changing their spots all the time, I think something could change.
Sanhok being played by all of these squads twice now, at least, coming in. So this will be the 3rd time again playing it for everyone. And they have to try and mound it on up. So they should have started to figure out where these drop locations are going well for them and where they're not doing so hot on. But it seems like, as you say, they just aren't spread out. To me, it's a little that says ego, right? That says ego. Like, no, we've started scrimming to drop here, so we're gonna stay here and not change our strategy because we think we can win it out. And in the end, you end up cutting off your nose to spite your face, right? Drop somewhere else, play the soft edge. On Sanhok, you don't even need to do that most of the time. You can rotate central and get the loot on, get a better fight. Don't go for the fights where you're stuck with, you know, a rubbish weapon in your hands and taking it against an M4 or an M24 bearing down on you. That's not where you want to be.
There's just a lot of... most of these teams are going to name places, but if you go south of Barn, you go north of Paradise Resort, there's a lot of places there where you can actually feasibly do a loot split quite easily and not get too caught out because you can meet up with the rest of your players very easily.
Yeah.
It's quite quick rotation there, so a little strange, but we'll see how things go forward. Regional finals might be different. Towards day 5 and day 6 of the semi-finals, things might also be different.
A nice spray there coming out from Young Gear. We'll take down Coffin. No one really from No Rage around to pick him up. Should be confirmed by Evil. They've actually got a vehicle in their back, so try and get it. Young Gear just rattling off a couple more shots. Coffin will go down, and that will be that. Next, they're all the way down south near Sammy. Just playing in. They will have to shift a little bit further in towards the circle, but nobody else is going to be zoned away on their original drop location. Asterion Myth, actually, they have moved up from Camp Charlie, where they'd landed, into the locations of HIceX, who took an early fight over towards, I believe, Painan against Hope. But now both of them shifting over towards the mainland, just to the west of Quarry, looking to go up a bit further north and try and take a central location. SIMURGA, they like to drop Lakawi. I like to drop Lakawi, actually. But it's a location that I've come to both love and hate because it's so easy for teams to be on those compounds over the hill, but they've read into Europe's strategy that you were talking about earlier, Blank, and no one's going to anywhere but named locations. There's no named locations anywhere near Lakawi other than Barn, and more often than not, they're not going to push out of the zone, right? They're going to go in. They're going to go and try take a little bit more central.
Yeah.
So SIMURGA might have read into that, which makes Lakawi a little bit more viable, especially when you come up against those hills that we've talked about before on the exit path.
Well, yeah, because they're pretty safe to know that, you know, south of Ban is not going to be taken. They're going to be happy to just move anti-clockwise. They only really have to worry for BitIce, who have made the rotation down to Camp Bravo, now coming down to Lakawi. But again, SIMURGA can change up plans, go clockwise, down to Kampong very easily. But these teams tend to play just along the riverside by Painan, just off to the east of there, and try and catch a lot of the rotations coming out from the larger name locations like Bootcamp, like Painan. It's interesting to watch, though. That's for sure. And I think a lot of these players can do it quite easily.
Well, they should be able to do it, certainly. These are our semi-finalists. They're incredibly strong players. Here is IceX. They dropped into Quarry with Sun HP, not actually taking fire from Magic at the moment. They did have the cover. I'm surprised they didn't go for the fight there. Maybe they didn't have the location on the rest of the squad. They're just rotating around. They're giving Sun HP so much freedom. He goes up the ramp, takes 2 shots, and ducks down behind the Defilade, behind that barrier. Here is IceX now, locked in the fight with Magic. They might want to try and move on out, but Master making a risky rotation in front of that barrier doesn't get punished for it.
No, I talk about this a lot, though, John, about Quarry and about how you have to be prepared to leave it early. And standing around for too long is not always the greatest idea, because you can get pinned in quite quickly. And Heroes IceX have tried to make this rotation a lot to catch the players who are still in Quarry a lot of times, and they've been fairly successful so far. But like you say, John, it looks like Magic have wised up to it.
Evil making the bridge in one of the bigger bridges in Painan. Heroes Ice
Big
still
bridge.
Yeah, I mean it is pretty hefty. Akif for Heroes IceX has gone down already, but they're still 3 strong. And they are a squad that can absolutely play these circles with 3 players. I mean, they went down pretty early into the last game. Unfortunately for them, I think they got 3 points total. But definitely don't discount them. I mean, they started the day, I believe, in 4th place. And they have some real fearsome players on board. So they'll be looking to try and pick up the pieces there. MVP in a similar situation. One of their players getting confirmed earlier on in a fight with no rage.
Again, the back-to-back slow to move out of boot camp. Deformia Meditari taking the hillside just outside to fire down onto them. Militia also here and Unique. So back-to-back have got a really tough rotation out of here. Unless they do something incredibly different and just go straight across the river to the Western Island, rotate southwards, which would be a very long rotation and probably not preferable to them. But that is an option should things get a little bit too freaky for them.
I'll tell you what, BitIce are going to have so much loot here. They're going to have everything that they could ask for. They've looted through both Mong Knight and Camp Bravo. Although now they've allowed SIMURGA to get in ahead of them towards the center of the circle over towards Barn, so that might be pretty tricky. The question is, do SIMURGA know that there could be a potential spoiler coming out of Camp Bravo, right? There's probably, I don't think there's been any teams who are really sort of focused at landing there.
No,
so
BitIce
they might not be sure.
BitIce actually tend to go Lakawi quite often. And they take the east side of the map. I mean, we saw them in Erangel, they take Lipovka. So they like to play the coastal side and move in from the circle from there. Question is, can BitIce find a feasible hill to play from coming out from Camp Bravo? Because currently, SIMURGA, they're playing nice and fluid, making their way from hillside to hillside into the circle. Now they're just playing soft edge, waiting for a team like BitIce to pass them. But if BitIce can move past SIMURGA, they have a lot of open ground ahead of them to head on through fairly safely into the later stages of the circle. And that is very nice for them indeed. Circle shifts over the west side. BitIce have a lot less ground to cover now and really just have to worry about SIMURGA.
Magic, they take 1 knock, and actually the fight going relatively well for them now, as they will have to start to pick up these rotations. I think looking relatively strong, but Asterion and Myth still have control of the high ground, and in Sanhok, that's really, really good. They are going to back out, though. They want to move a little bit more central. The next circle did pop, and it's going to go, again, just straight onto that main island. BidIce still going to be able to hold in Camp Roa for now, but they might want to take a more central location. Quarry still a feature on the south side of this next circle.
There's a lot of unplayable ground here from Quarry. So if a team like SIMURGA does want to come south, they have to wrap all the way around past Cave. But Cave will give them a nice little vantage point right at the top there to scout players out. But you highly doubt they do that, and you would more imagine they would go through the northern side. BidIce currently making that clockwise rotation, though. Literally on rails on the side of the circle. They are following it directly round. Asterion Myth right ahead of Magic right now. They are looking for Magic to come from the south side. Again, like I was saying before, the Quarry does create like this small quadrant at the bottom of the southwest side of the circle here, which funnels players in, which is why MVP, Evil, and HIceX are all controlling the compounds leading up to the roadside.
Unique will be pretty happy with their spot right now. They're slap bang in the center of this next circle. They're not tied down to a location. They're going to have some hills to be playing around as well. They're in a nice spot. Good stuff coming out from them. Here is IceX. As we saw earlier, we're taking punishment from Magic across the way, but Magic have had to rotate as well. Next, and actually No Rage outside of the circle over towards Painan. They're going to take the fight. Lutz gets confirmed. Mellow will be able to hide behind a tree. Harb very low as well. Another knock over onto Helios means that No Rage are down to, I believe, just one now remaining. I think it's just Billy for them.
Yeah,
No Rage. They are pushing straight on.
No Rage have a little bit of a shout towards the beginning of the game so far, but they're dying down very quickly in these games. Not what we want to see from them whatsoever. Evil currently taking a fight with MVP, though, John.
Youngyear over the side, trying to move Militia away. Will get it done. Danny, the last standing player, goes down. Oh, wait. No, he was down. That's the elimination going through. The Team White comes out for MVP, against MVP for Evil. And they'll pick up a couple of points for that one. On the northern side, there's a bit of a clash going.
Kaos versus Brothers Gang. You desperately want to see Brothers Gang make it in, but so far, the firefights just have not been good.
Oh, no.
And now they're lobbing themselves off the cliffside, all like penguins, into the water.
Praying to Davy Jones to keep them safe. Might just do the trick. And I'd imagine that Kaos will be just worried about these cliff faces. And so the early call for this is really the only time where you can do it. Now, Gazi will be pushing on up. They're continuing to go for the fight and actually might spot this one out with Amigo if they're aware enough. I think they might have just caught it now. Yeah, there they are. They will have taken a peek down over at the water.
Ow.
There's one. Of course, you don't get knocked in the water. You just instantly die if you go down. So it is unfortunate that went through. One player still going. I think he's taking damage from staying underwater.
Yeah, your boy's drowning right now.
Yeah, he's making it to that central island, though, and Kaos will back off and give Brothers Gang a little bit more of a chance.
Back-to-back here versus Hope. Not a team you want to get in close quarters with. They will rip you apart.
We saw how strong Matic is on that kill count. Doing a lot of work for his team. He's still live and kicking. They have lost one, but so have back-to-back.
The fact that Kaki and Zodox are not moving is a little bit questionable here. You would have thought they would try and take a little bit more of a position up on the hillside. Now they've pretty much left Herbs to his doom.
Well, he still has a fair shout. He's got an M24 on his back and that M4 in his hand as well with the extended magazine. So could potentially take a bit of a fight going his way. Next circle's going to pop. Again, goes over towards Barn. SIMURGA and BidIce both going to be happy with that. Although they might not be happy with each other. They are in a very similar location. They will contest each other for that.
You have to wait and see. Matic,
oh, Matic, come on.
Directly
right
on top. Yeah,
that's a top fragger.
You do not mess around with this guy.
He will just take you down. He's jumping off rocks and still winning the firefights.
I know. It looks very casual, well, didn't it?
Yeah.
Like he jumped off the rock. He was like, oh yeah,
oh,
there's a guy.
Oh,
here.
there's a fight there.
Oh, just kill him.
Oh, cool. A kill.
So that was fine.
Cheers, bro.
Yeah, and now Zodox and Kaki are like, I guess we'll leave.
Well, Warfarin isn't going to be backing off anytime soon. He's got his teammate up the hill as well, starting to rain on through. This is how you want to back up your squad. Deformia Meditari put it on the masterclass of the side swipe. Nice start to the fight. Will they be able to continue it? That's the question. I think back-to-back did just get eliminated on the rotation by Unique, just for your information. Unlucky there as they try to go a little bit more central, but the Deformia Meditari, they managed to get a kill, a knock, and continue to go for the fight over onto Chaos, just to the west of Paradise Resort. They're not in the next circle.
It is good.
The nade is good. Amigo, Willie have found cover from it.
Ghazi just ahead. Amigo very far back right now, but Warfare in quite low. No meds on this guy, so this fight is pretty important to Deformia Meditari, it would seem. Just to replenishing the supplies. Nice spray onto Ghazi.
They'll take that trade, though. They will get the kill. The squad wipe there. Deformia Meditari, as I said before, I think that's the best fight we've seen from them all tournament so far.
John, that was very, very good from them. Looked completely different to what we're used to. Here is IceX taking some shots onto Magic. They've been following this team for a long time, and now it's Naya inside the shack with 3 other players.
The southwestern side being funneled in by Quarry, and you can see this is where it's going to come back to bite them. Unique still in the fight with them. FROMHELL, they've got a couple of players still there, 3 standing. Same for Rogue as well. That's going to zone Topson away. Nicely done. Rogue will get the heal off as well. And they come barreling down. Oh boy, out wide and against Topson. Will not find it. Not just yet. Yasha is taken down. The nade comes in over the back. Topson at risk. Will get knocked. Nicely done from Kitsune. The nades are there. 2 knocks coming in now for Unique. Oh boy, getting covered up by this smoke. The only player down currently for Unique as the res come through from FROMHELL.
I will say that Unique probably have the best utility control out of any team that I've seen in this tournament so far. They just know exactly what to do, and we've seen time and again the nades come through from Unique and just completely secure a fight like this.
White again going down. Yasha goes out wide. Won't get spotted out just yet. Not going to be taken down. White will be feeding this information back, but the guns are blazing, and Unique, they're picking up kills left and right. 6 now for them.
This is the thing, though. They just force enemy teams into bad fights with them, just with pure utility. Old Boy takes ridiculous wide peaks that he should never, ever get away with in the first place, but because his team's there to back him up, and the nades are coming through, forcing a player to make a decision of, do I move, do I take this fight, or do I die to the nade? And more often than not, creating all those decisions, all those options for a player leads to mistakes quite quickly. There is a huge amount of fighting on the southwest side of the circle, and it's exactly what I was talking about before. Quarry has forced all these players onto the west side and northwards. Hope currently have a really good spot on the hillside right now to take pot shots at these teams, but Asterion will claim the western compound.
Unskill just outside the circle, coming into close contact with an O-Rage player. Might just be able to hear it out. Here they go. Magic down again, as you said, on the southwestern side, suffering against the Rock of Hope. And I believe that's Unskill to stay strong over on that western side. So Brothers Gang still in it. The crash now starting to come out from SIMURGA against Unique. Both of these teams going to be vying for the eastern side, whilst the chaos ensues southwest. Bit ice as well. They're just going to move a little bit further south. They don't want this fight. Deformia Meditari, however, they have the easiest path here. They can just go clean on in.
Look at this cluster of teams right now. Evil take a shot onto NEX. NEX quickly clap back. There is a lot of compounds up here by Barn, right? There is so many places for teams to take control of. Magic currently taking control of the cliffside here. Gives them a lot of cover. They will have to move, though, into the circle more centrally. And Unique, they're taking a preemptive position in that central compound in the beginning. I'd be interested to see if they make the split. 2 players on either side of the road. That would make sense with the 4 players they currently have. And they will completely control this zone afterwards.
Complete dominance, that's what they're looking for. 6 kills says that they're capable of it. So does their placement on the scoreboards as well. Currently second by 1 point to SIMURGA. Whoever beats the other out here will, of course, be able to take that spot. But SIMURGA haven't really been in any fights. The only team they've come into close contact with was BitIce, and they've separated. So I don't think they've managed to actually pick up any kills just yet, which sends Unique way out into the lead. If they could eliminate them here, though, that will knock a couple points off them. Off their potential, certainly.
It's a strange finish to Sanhok here. Usually we're used to a lot more snaking, but because there's so much varied ground in this last circle by Barn and so many compounds, we're lucky to see quite a cool little fight about to ensue between 11 teams in the 5th stage circle at 20 minutes. This is really, really interesting, John. I'm loving what I'm seeing. I cannot wait to see how this pans out.
The southwestern side is the deadly one, so we are going to be keeping track over there. Magic facing off against Evil. They have to start to shimmy on forwards. The next circle going right in between Asterion Myth and Unique, holding both of those compounds, west and east forces. But Asterion Myth definitely more heavily challenged at this stage. But the teams that are challenging Unique, really, really strong ones. BitIce, SIMURGA, both not taking a fight yet, which means that their med situation is going to be really strong.
And they're both at full manpower too. So Unique, got to be careful here. Obviously, Unique taking a couple of fights of their own. They will have a lot of utility on board. BitIce do take this split here between 2 compounds. Now trying to move into the circle clockwise and anti-clockwise. Homer, Nico together, Motvik and Geki together.
Oh dear. A lot of players for SIMURGA actually getting knocked up north. It looks like they will be able to get the reses off just for now.
It's quite a bit of low ground here, John, which is an issue that a lot of these teams are going to be facing. No one wants to head towards the center of the circle because it's just not good for business. Billy's been out in the circle, out in the zone for a long, long time. And he's more than likely just going to go down to the play zone here.
I think he did get the heal off there. Will he be able to make the run in? That's the question. He's right into the waiting arms of NEX. Yeah, there we go. He's been spotted. He goes down. And again, they will be suffering. SIMURGA trapped on the northern side. Morriquen going down as well to Unique, who are guarding against them. Morteza standing up front, really the only one left standing. Deformia Meditari again, having a similarly difficult path in. Asterion Myth making sure of that. These 2 compounds proving a brutal rocks to crash on. BitIce get eliminated in the meantime. SIMURGA really suffering. They're trying to mount up, they're trying to get on in, and now it's just warfare for Deformia Meditari on the northwestern side. And the full force of Asterion Myth is being felt now across the circle.
Asterion Myth got a really strong compound here. It'll be very much interesting to see all these teams crash upon the rocks just outside of Asterion Myth. Like waves against them, we'll see if they can weather it all the way to the end. But here comes Unique onto Morteza. And that's SIMURGA with one last player just out in the circle. Morteza's still alive, though.
Old Boy actually going into the smoke, allows him to go out, will fall, and that's SIMURGA going down. Unique will be lapping them over up the top of that leaderboard. Unique, they've got 10 kills. They are dominating this force right now. You can see they are just overpopulating the top kills right now. Asterion Myth, probably the only ones to challenge them. They have had to leave their compound now, so they are out into the fray. Everybody on that southern side really starting to feel the burn now. Deformia Meditari still with their shouting, of course, warfaring right on that northern side. Will try and hold it out. Magic suffering as Hope and Next both looking for it. The Brothers Gang have managed to make it in as Unskill has snaked his way through time and time again to make his way in and will actually push straight onto the back of the compound that Asterion Myth are holding. I don't know if he's going to last too much longer there. They will have heard it.
The brother does not care. He makes his way in there. Will be taken out now. I think he just hit himself up into that 6th spot. Barely, but will make it. Yasha, great nade onto Warfaring. Asterion Myth take down next. They're controlling this compound very well. And now only 2 teams remain, John. Asterion Myth versus Team Unique.
We're on 5 just seconds ago. And already the fight is going to kick off. Unique have to push on in. They haven't laid down any smoke, so it's just a bare bones fight. None of Unique have been knocked, so they have more mobility. They have more angles to play with. They are into this compound. They've taken down one of Asterion Myth. It's a 3 versus 4. Old Boy gets the heal off as well. They're zoning away these buildings one by one. A nice Molotov in through the door there. There's vision underneath these buildings. You can see that's what Sorka's going to be looking for. Should be able to spot some feet just pitter-pattering around. But Unique, they're an unstoppable force right now. 15 kills into the game. A really, really big one for them if they can come up and finish it.
Methodically clearing out the players with the utility. Down goes Lunatic.
He's going to go for the spray in through the wall. Sorka down as well. And now it's 1 versus 2. Old Boy very, very low. Prolord last to try and hold it out. Old Boy giving this information back in. Looking to try and confirm. He has the building. He has the cover. He's taken a lot of damage. This could be it for Unique. They claim it. And the chicken dinner is theirs. Plenty of kills go their way as well. And that is a return to form, a dominant show. Up to 18 on the game. Huge.
Kitsune there with an excellent flank two, coming in the end to finish the job that All Boys started. Really well played to Unique. They never had the best spot there in those last circles, but they made it work regardless. They had the one compound. They capitalized there. When they were forced to move across, they just cleared things out like a SWAT team.
Yeah, I think that the chaos of that southwestern side really played to their advantage there. Everybody had to fight around that western side of Quarry. No one could make those rotations as they wanted to. And it was teams of 2, teams of 3, teams of 1 snaking it in that we ended up seeing a lot around that sort of area. And of course, Asterion Myth was zoning them all away. We saw that really come to a head when I think we had about 6 teams left, and then within the space of about 5 seconds, it dropped to 2.
Yeah, I was about to say that we literally just saw teams disappear off the face of the map. Yeah. And it was difficult to see where they went as well, but you imagine to an untimely grave.
Yeah. We'll have to wait and see exactly where everyone finished, of course. We'll wait and see until we see the scores. But Unique, the dominant force of the group stages, now sat atop the leaderboards over in the semi-finals. Obviously, last season of the PMCO, the spring split, they were the people who qualified from Europe to go all the way to those global finals as well.
So they definitely have it in them. Here is the scores. 38 points for Team Unique. Asterion Myth grazing them in second with a bare 19.
That means that Unique will be now sat atop by 19 points blank, and we'll be pretty happy with that. Halfway through the day, there's 2 more to play. Brothers Gang do it again. 7 points, consistent enough to maintain their averages. Deformia Meditari, probably one of the better performances they've had. We said that that fight was probably one of the best that we've seen from them all tournament. Yeah. Really considering, you know, the strength that Deformia Meditari had last split.
I'm going to remember that the Brothers Gang, Unskill literally had to grow gills to make his way away from chaos in the first place. The fact that he was able to make it into that last circle there, it just speaks volumes of this team's just lust for those regional finals right now.
Yeah, they make it to 6th place as well, so getting a decent chunk of score there. SIMURGA down on the second page. They're not used to this one. Hang on a minute, it was SIMURGA that they took the advantage on over. So I'm mistaken. Unique will be now taking a 32-point advantage at the top of the table. It's not Hope that they were competing against. Although Hope are quite near the top of the tables as well, doing a lot of work. And to be honest, all of these teams will be pretty safe moving forwards. They've done a lot of work. But here we go. Look at that. A clear lead now developing for Unique.
181. It's like we've seen, it's like this is match 3 and not match number 2. Really, really well played to Team Unique there. Team Hope, though, still got to top their big score from yesterday, the 40-point a game. So Team Unique looking to get a little bit of a record on that one. But currently they're playing very, very well. 20-point lead in terms of placement points on the second team. And it just goes down from there. Next, 136, going to be happy with this result. FROMHELLL still hanging on there in 5th. HIceX go down to 6th. And the Brothers Gang and Asterion Myth make their way onto the first page.
Nicely done, nicely done. Of course, Unique taking the title with that game of top fraggers as well. 78 kills now on board, beating out Team Hope. We're down on 73. Still quite close, but they really have just completely taken every single accolade you could want. Most chicken dinners, most kills, most placement points, most total points, everything. These guys are, they're starting to really ramp it up.
They've got all the gold medals right now. Let's put it that way.
Yeah, but they can be snatched back, of course. It's still plenty of games to go. 16 games total in these group stages. At the end of the day, some of these teams, well, all the teams today playing will have 4 more to play over the course of the ensuing week. But this second page, teams that will more than likely want to try and post a few more points. Footballist, they're doing pretty well. MVP, not so well there. 9 points average should see them safe, but it is risky. No Rage as well in a similar spot.
No, they are back-to-back there, 62 points. They're going down. Cream Esports EU in 15th with only 7 games played. So they did not play that final game yesterday. Magic, 10 points, 10 matches played, 73 points total. Go up to 13th. It's a bit of a rocky situation for them, but they're making it work. No Rage goes down once again, and if we see more performances like we've seen today from them, you can expect that to continue.
Yeah, everyone on 10 games played on this page is really at risk at this stage. Their average is looking far, far too low, even with Deformia Meditari posting, I think it was 11 points in that previous game. They're still only on 52, and they shouldn't be too pleased with that one. Of course, there's a couple of teams below them as well, not doing the greatest. So this is the red zone, right? This is the page of teams that at the end of the tournament will mean that you are eliminated. So it's definitely not where you want to be. Don't want to find yourself here.
Bit Ice, despite taking quite the safe paths everywhere, they're still on that danger zone. But here's our kills leaderboard. Morteza doesn't get any more kills, but Matic makes his way up to 20 kill. We saw this guy before, literally made killing look so casual.
Yeah, he just jumped off the top back to back. Nah, you're all right. You're gone.
You're all right, mate.
Yeah.
Take your business elsewhere.
We don't accept your business here, I'm afraid. Matic shuts it down. 28 kills. That's huge. That's absolutely insane. Unique, though, featuring very, very heavily, right? 3 players over on the top side of the kill board. It is the traditional Unique way. But will they be able to keep that tradition alive after the break? We'll find out as we head over to the Miramar map for our 3rd game of the day. Do not touch those browsers. We will be right back after the break. Sanhok to go through, as well as Zezi chimes on through. And now on the back it's Daddy to get shut down. Beautiful stuff coming in for the footballist. There's your ump flank. Only the last player remaining for the footballist now, Blank. They have 7 kills. They're the 9th team in. And it's 1 versus 1. The spray from the Vector not quite landing. They got the suppressor on there. They have a little bit more time for Anashi. He pushes around the corner, takes a little bit of damage, but the reload, oh no!
So SMG going to be very wary of a lot of crashes about to come their way.
Yeah. Speaking of crashes though, it's Heroes IceX straight into the open arms of the Romania team, but Silas.
A little bit of the pressure right now.
Solus goes down, Heroes IceX, they're getting peppered. Hope are there on the sidelines from Hell. Unfortunate position for them. They get taken down, they get rotated on by Evil, and in goes the fight. Bro, taking it to the footballist.
Oh!
Okay.
The pan. Oh, it's the nade. Oh no, it's just a smoke, just a smoke, just a smoke. He doesn't know. He does not know the Mad Dog lies.
Yeah.
Are they just going to leave him?
I think they might.
Oh, they've given him a smoke as well.
That's so good for him.
Is this a 5-player team? What are we seeing here?
A few moments later.
And IND are just giving... Oh no, he's going to spot that.
No, he does.
Surely he didn't.
Come on, Slayer.
Oh my goodness.
It's in your namesake. You've got to take him down, son.
No
Mad Dog's
way.
still there. This guy is literally free soloing right now.
He's solo squadding.
12 seconds later.
Around here, Salty Squad also taking down Godlike. I think they've done a great job to stay into it, but can Mad Dog just stay here? He is now.
Do you think he can jump in the vehicle? If he gets in?
It will. Oh no, he's actually taking the shot.
Oh, is it? Oh, he's not quite able to get the knock. First one swaps weapon, looking for Slayer.
foul. Ooh, we almost got a run over there. We got
Grego.
Oh!
Oh, the fake out, make out over here.
He's turning on him.
Oh, the jukes are real right now. Grego,
Oh.
can Grego connect over here? If I was Grego,
He's giving it up.
no,
No, he hasn't. He's
can't give
juke
up.
back. He's coming
Can't.
double back,
Going back,
faking it.
back.
Cool.
Oh, this is it. This is it.
Oh, it has to be.
Oh!
Got him! God, he's
There
knocked
we
over.
go.
He's got to get out and give him the BML. Not
Just chilling, like near the circle. They don't want to get into any fights. Especially they have executors on the same city right there. So maybe just gonna chill. And that was close. That was interesting.
Yeah, because the Nas will be dropped.
Look at this.
Justice falling in. DJS is in a lot of trouble here, but Justice gets shot upon by Yai. He's one of the players trying to run away, but he still actually hits a 3. Now he will be put out and will be sprayed down, and they will be able to knock him down on the floor.
The teams that are right at the bottom.
Has he not spotted Nico though? Yeah, he's just a little bit hidden. Oh, now
my
he's gonna have
lord.
spotted him.
Yeah.
How can he not have done? He gets over the wall before he gets knocked. Fantastic.
Does get a lot of damage on the trade, but the red cannons are all over this movement at the moment.
And there they go, Critical Esports out in number 15. Actually, no, it's not even the team we're watching. That's a different team altogether, but
Ooh, that does a fair bit of damage too, knocking these players to half HP. That Molotov they threw in previously does get a knockout. This might be the signal to go, go, go. Pushing in here. There is one player just sitting on the deck, knocked out. But the Molotov is actually burning himself with it, so this is a Molotov he dropped down earlier.
Welcome back to the full split for the PMCO 2019. We're on the European region. We're in the semi-finals. My name is John Allen. Blank is over there. And of course, if you want to be ready to beat out anyone on the battlefield, you're going to need some seamless and uninterrupted gaming with a NEX mobile device. And if you're interested in watching some seamless gaming, then you can head over to the YouTube channel, the PUBG Mobile Esports YouTube channel. And of course, hit that subscribe button, ring that notification bell, hit all the like buttons you can find.
Hitting the bell.
Anywhere on that channel, if you find a like button, you've got to hit it. That's the rule. We'll see if that works.
You did well, John. Good job. Nice.
And then, of course, if you want to be playing a little bit of PUBG Mobile yourself, if you think you've got what it takes to end up here one day, then, of course, you can head over to the Google Play Store on Android devices and iOS. Well, it's the App Store, and you can download PUBG Mobile for yourself. Give it a go. Get some chicken dinners. They are hella tasty.
Super, super tasty. And Team Unique just gorged themselves on a nice little chicken dinner there over Asterion Myth.
Little?
Big.
I don't think so.
Huge.
Chunky.
Literal whole chicken.
Hefty.
Marinated.
Ooh.
Wonderful.
Oh, now that's good, isn't it?
Yeah. Making you think of some nice restaurants. Go eat some chicken dinners. Sad time.
Stop it. You're making me lose focus on the broadcast.
I'm sorry.
I'm going to be thinking of chicken this whole time.
If you're all hungry for chicken dinners, get yourself chicken dinners. We'll most likely get a chicken dinner tomorrow.
Yeah. I might have to just get one immediately after this show now.
Me too.
We are going to be going over to our game. Of course, it is going to be Miramar this time around. A difference from Sanhok, but terrain play still very, very important in this. Beg your pardon.
Oh,
I'm okay.
Yeah,
I'm just thinking about chicken
you
dinners.
drink a Molotov?
Yeah, I did drink a little bit of Molotov there. Not greatest, but we are going over to Miramar. Terrain play is a little bit more important coming through, but again, strategy, rotational play is going to be key, as it is all the time. These teams, of course, have now played, I believe, in this current set of 16, have played through 6 games together, so they should be a little bit more aware with rotational styles, a little bit more aware of danger zones and how they sort of interact with one another.
Miramar's such a huge map, though. All of the issues that we've seen from Europe, in the sense that they tend to group together a little bit too much, bit alleviated here, right? Because there is so many places to go. El Pozzo, Picardo, obviously you got Minas Generales, you got Graveyard. There's so many places that all these teams can head off to and keep themselves relatively at arm's length. I'm more interested in how a lot of these teams will deal with the super high ground rotations, because at the moment Europe tends to take these quite early. High grounds such as just north of Picardo here, Los Leones is in the foothills. Junkyard also has some good positions down there, but it's more El Pozzo and south which has been the place of high contestation for a lot of these teams when the circle does head over that way. We'll see if we get a different shift today. Like I said, we had north and eastern circles for Erangel, and we hit up with a western circle today, so potentially we see something a little funky,
a little jazzy, maybe.
A little bit of disco thrown in there too.
Ooh, I like it. There we go. Hopefully we'll have some funky moves coming on out. Busting them out on the dance floor. We'll back-to-back once again take on Asterion Myth. I have to wait and see. It looks like they have dropped out separately this time around.
Yeah.
But I think back-to-back have gone for hot drop once more. They've dropped out just over Los Leones. Just to see what they can do. Asterion Myth look to be heading to Picardo. Not the furthest 2 locations apart, but they will take their own separate fights in their own separate time.
You got to give it to back-to-back. They are at least confident.
Why, though? Why are they confident? Because they're not putting up the results to back up what they're doing, right?
No. Nice little shift here on the circle. Goes quite south, pretty central. And despite there being so much ground to cover, everyone has gone Los Leones or Picardo or just saw north of Power Grid. Excellent job, guys. Love to see it. We'll see how many people you can kill in the next 3 minutes, which is how it tends to happen on Europe.
All right, let's see how many we're going to get. You get a kill counter in the bottom. Just be like ding, ding, ding. Before the pre-10-minute kill count. That's what I'd like to see on the maps from Europe. I might have to go back through and see, because certainly early on during the group stages, it was really starting to rack up. Of course, this is the first time that these 16 teams together as this group setup has played Miramar. They've played every other map, of course, so far. And this is the last
There
time they're
are
going to be playing together as well.
so many teams in Los Leones, John.
There are quite a few. Los Leones, though, is big enough to hold potentially 4 teams, essentially, and loot them up properly to see what they can get done. And I think next to just outside, enough that they might not crash, but I think a few teams have landed quite close to each other. Asterion Myth, as we said before, they've landed in Picardo. They only have 1 team to deal with at the moment. It's FROMHELL. Hey, look at this. Back to back. They've made a rotation away from a hot drop.
Oh my god, yes.
Praise the Lord.
Take Chumacera. You have Chumacera back to back. You loot that place to your heart's content.
Oh, I'm so proud. Yes. I'm so proud.
So good.
Back to back. Phenomenal stuff. The circle does shift a little bit further south, but it's not going to be too dramatic there for the majority of teams. And everyone who isn't in the circle will have probably quite an easy path on in. Not too many places where it's going to choke them down.
Again, really the only area where I think that it's going to be a little bit of fighting, a contest there, is probably just north of Picardo, where you have to make that awkward movement over the hill from open ground into open ground, which is unoptimal rotation, which is why you will see most people either head round clockwise on the map, go past power grid down to Ladria. But MVP, they do take the first hit. It is Militia going down.
A couple of fights ensuing as well. Got No Rage chiming into it on these locations. The moment, though, Militia taking heavy hits and suffering because of it. Kitsune's still suppressing the location. Danny makes the dash. Will they be able to pick him up? Still have to push on through. Unique have taken a lot of damage as well in the meantime. They're actually taking the fight relatively well. Militia still has quite a lot of time on this bleed out. It looks like they have got a player relatively close. Unique still in the fight there. No Rage quite a distance back, and yeah, they will be able to get Militia up. Looks like they want to disengage, but look at this, the wide rotation coming out from Unique. They sent 2 players up as a duo to that hillside now. You got Yasha and you got Rogue, and they have the massive off angle here. So they might just look for these shots to come on through. Looks like they're going even wider. This is a really big rotation from these two.
It's
okay,
fair
they're just
enough.
going. Okay, they're leaving.
Yeah, it's fair enough that, like you just said, John, they are just going to leave, which is perfectly okay. They're just moving outside of San Martin right now. Deformia Meditari, just north of La Bendita.
Look at that. With the red dot as well, trying to take the spray. Control on point. Beautiful stuff, but isn't going to get any damage.
No.
Not just yet. The standoff in Picardo and Los Leones, again, just being okay. This is what we were saying before. With Brothers Gang being spaced out, they are one of the teams in Los Leones, or certainly an impact in Los Leones. They've got 2 players there. That makes 3 teams essentially playing at the moment in that city. And that's containable in Los Leones. It's such a big map. It's such a big settlement that...
I think that is 4 teams,
can't
actually,
coexist.
John, because you've got Next, Magic, and Brothers Gang as well as Heroes.
Yeah, that's what I
HIceX.
mean, though, because Brothers Gang only have 2 players in there. They
Yeah, they're just chilling.
They're just chilling.
They're browsing the wares in the shops in the southern side of Los Leones down there. Back to back, still coming in Chumacera. But it's going to be a little bit while before some of these teams start to knock heads, especially Miramar being so large. I think the majority of the fights you are going to see... Come on, how does back-to-back take fatalities even when they're by themselves? This is unprecedented.
It's unfortunate. The difficult part of this is that, of course, the terrain is really, really tricky to operate around Miramar. Those muscle cars can really send you flying, and if you're on a motorbike, you're really prone to just tipping on over when you least expect it. Here is HIceX proving to be the swage through the middle of Los Leones that's separating NEX from everyone else, but look at this. All in. There's a very isolated position, actually, up the top of that construction building. We'll get a lot of info for it, but as soon as he takes a fight, it's more than likely he goes down. It's a very, very open location.
Sun, HP, tries to take the spot behind the tree there, does just about get it, but gets literally the nail through the hand there. A little bit unfortunate. And now Solus looking to find where All In, but All In currently in a really good spot. This is excellent, especially on Los Leones. It's going to give him eyes in the sky. And Yakif going to try and make his way over, but how much cover can he also get behind this tree? All In knows exactly where they are. He can just spray it down.
Looks like they will be able to get the res off, actually, here. Next, remember, as well, are still into this fight. So this open courtyard for Sun HP right now, super dangerous. Next, we'll spot out Silas. I think they know what's up, though. The nade is there. Oh, he did just show. So they'll know what's going on, but I think Silas is more preoccupied with another location at the moment. The cook goes in. He's looking to go over the top, but it's actually Harb to be able to get the knock. And so Silas now completely isolated, has to drop down, goes off. And oh, dear.
Yeah, I don't think he was expecting the second set of hits there from the nade on high. A little bit unfortunate, really, because he would have survived that fall otherwise. Now here is IceX down to just 3 players again. Having a rocky start to the game, maybe you want to consider doing something that Back-to-Back just did, which is move away from these hot drops.
Yeah, it will be pretty tricky there. Sun HP goes down once more. Out of the frying pan into the fire, really.
Yeah, they're caught between the Devil and the Deep Blue Seed right now. It's very difficult to get out. Sun, finish, Solus down, Yakif, no hope.
Yeah, it's a pretty tricky situation for Akif there. Here's IceX just lose so much power. All of their steam getting blown away. Next circle just about to pop as everyone has made their way through. Evil just about trailing on in.
And the circle goes south towards Los Leones.
All right.
So if Magic and or NEX can control this zone, they'll be pretty happy with themselves.
Yeah.
A lot of ways to get into Los Leones. It's fairly open. So be interested to see if we get a Los Leones finish total. Because there is actually, like you said, John, the city is huge. There is potential for this, which will create one hell of a urban firefight in the future.
It would be great to see the construction buildings providing some very strange amounts of cover. It's such a weird location to fight in because there's so many open spots that feel like they're really covered. As I said, like in those constructed buildings where All In, for instance, was fighting in one direction behind that pillar, fantastic. But as soon as someone on the side sees him, he's dead. There's no way he gets away, and he can't drop down. It's impossible to stay safe there if you're fighting more than, or have threats from more than one location. The only reason he was able to take that location that early was because it was the early fight. There was no rotations coming in just yet, and no one's going to hit into Los Leones.
Yeah, it's smart from Magic there. You have to give credit to them where credit's due. They knew where the enemies were, and they set themselves up accordingly. But like you say, Don, as the rotation's coming through, they will have to start consider repositioning.
Nade in. Oh, dear.
Rob Deeney is dangerous.
Yeah, he's been consistently one of the stronger players for FROMHELL. And now 3 players for Asterion Myth. Finally, this Picardo duel is coming to a fight, coming to a head. Hope now clashing with NEX, who did leave Los Leones out to the west, and NEX trying to move on in from the west.
Back-to-Back have a pretty decent rotation here from the western side over the hills. They'll have a lot of spots to scout out their next position that they want to take, so I'm not too worried about them. Chaos, however, are coming up on them. You wonder if Back-to-Back will spot this before they get over here. But Chaos, they have a lot of ground in front of them, which is fairly safe to cross, really. Now Billy making his way down with Helios and the rest of the gang. And we'll just see how this fight goes between FROMHELL and Asterion Myth.
Ooh, okay. Sorka gets blown on up. I believe that was a full-on flush. Nice to see. For FROMHELL, 2 kills now going over their way. Asterion Myth left with just Prolord and Lunatic. They have got a decent overlook here, but they're right on the edge of the circle. Won't be happy, and even if they're able to get out, they're going to be severely taken very low in terms of their power moving forwards. Unique loser player as well. Hope challenging for the hillsides towards the north of Los Leones.
Evil. In the foothills to the north as well, they're going to make their way down. Unique just going to put the pedal to the metal and go immediately past, which is fair enough.
Oh, look at this nade coming in from Lunatic. It's right in there. Thompson takes a bit of damage, but it's probably far from what they wanted. He does know that he's vulnerable, but he hasn't moved at all. A nice cook comes in again, and that's going to take half of HP off. But in the meantime, they've pushed on up, completely caught unawares. Robdini now just goes around. They're going to go up, and Prolord, I think he knows someone's on the staircase, but he turns and immediately Robdini strikes. Look at that. Beautiful stuff. Asterion Myth, wiped from Picardo.
I thought that was hilarious from Thompson there. Like, we got the X-ray through too. And he just stood there, adamant. He's like, you can throw as many nades as you want, but I am the man of steel. Yeah. I will not go down.
He swallows shrapnel for breakfast, apparently, but the circle shrinks and again moves towards Los Leones. We might be in for this urban finish now, Blank. The hillsides to the north, very tricky to operate, and if a team shows dominance there, not too many are going to be able to leave the city, but it will be a tricky time to fight for pretty much everyone involved. Brothers Gang, I think, probably actually in one of the better spots on the southeastern side. No one's going to be rotating down that way. They'll have a bit of cover to play with, and should be pretty happy. Over out west, though, SIMURGA trying to run out in the blue. Well, they are not finding any luck whatsoever. Jetgill now the last remaining player for them. Heading on south, past back-to-back, who are still trucking on, and they've got 3 kills to their name.
They've tried to stay away from as many teams as possible. They need to ladder up now, so it's fair enough to see how they play. Meditari on the northern side. MVP have got eyes on, and it's a very open ground that they are trying to cross. Nico looks like he sees Danny all the way back there too. So Danny, no way of escaping without taking about 100 bullets from Nico as he tries to make the pass down the hillside.
I mean, just the one with dirt with the Kar 98 is aimed correctly, but
Brothers Gang going to go up to east. Smart choice. They're going to try and keep as many teams away from the back as possible. Making this rotation there is hard. What a shot.
Beautiful. Straight onto Militia. As soon as he shimmies out wide, he's just able to get it done. And this is going to send Homer up the side. They know Danny's there. He's pinned from every location. He has to take the firefight. You can see he's going to move on out, but gets rattled down. Falls back and actually finds a little bit of cover. Homer might try and pursue now. He knows he's got the HP advantage, but Danny looking to heal. He's behind the rock. He can go for the challenge. Will get 1 heal off, but he's at a disadvantage now. He will be calling this out to his team for that aerial support, but Danny goes down, and now there's 2 players really in operation for MVP. And they have really little cover to play with. Nice stuff coming out from BitIce. As soon as that knock came in, they knew exactly what to do.
Yeah, Nico is terrifying when you put a decent weapon in his hand. Geki here trying to play a long-range game with the DMRs. Very effective on Miramar. But again, we are going to start to see all this come to a climax very, very soon with all these teams about to clash. Back-to-back are still in Chumacera, though.
They're still out in the blue. This
about,
is
literally about 200 meters away.
This is... I think it's a little bit more
No.
It's actually almost like a kilometer
away.
This is about to be phase 4. This circle is not light. MVP getting eliminated by some nades and some nice sprays, but actually Brothers Gang do down one of their own, unfortunately. That's not going to be the best of results. Sorry, MVP still with 2 remaining. They're looking to try and take the sniper duel on this northern side, but the circle will shrink, and again, it goes towards Los Leones. It looks like we're in for an urban finish here. A really nice spot for a lot of these teams who started their Magic might be okay with it. I think the Brothers Gang, as I said, probably have one of the better spots. Next have moved around there as well to make it work. Back to back, they do get knocked out in the blue.
Why?
Yeah. Why?
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 FROMHELLL moving their way in. Going to go to the northern side. A little less protected in Los Leones, but still does the trick. Hope also takes some shots over there onto FROMHELLL. Disallowing their push into Los Leones quite quickly. But Unique are fairly central now. They just wanted to take a position early, and they did that by coming down towards the roadside and then quickly making their push in as more teams trying to get into this area.
Yep.
No Rage will also insert themselves from the south side. Smart.
Brothers Gang taking the fight with NEX. Pretty close. This is the southeastern side of Los Leones, a very crucial part of this area. NEX, though, getting shot at by Magic in the meantime, as Brothers Gang do fall back a little bit, give ground and allow them to push outside. There's so many teams so close that it's going to be very difficult. Fakes on it, goes down, and he doesn't take a flick of damage. Nicely done there to pick that one up, but there's still a couple of the brothers left a little bit north, more north over the road from them. I think that's back-to-back eliminated. They hard-inted that. That was terrible decision-making from them, quite frankly. They didn't rotate at all. They had time, they had the ground, but they didn't do it.
Yeah, I would say that was...
You know, I've given them the benefit of the doubt, but that was poor.
Yeah, I don't think there's anywhere to describe it other than big int.
It's the big int.
It is the big int, though. I don't get it. We'll move on anyway. We'll see what happens next. Next, currently, down on the side of the compound right now, just trying to live it out next to the brothers gang. Milo reviving his teammate there. Slobosh coming back up into the fight, and Unique taking a super central position. It looks like Unique are completely committed to the idea that this circle is not moving away from Los Leones.
Well, we'll see in a small amount of time.
In a jiffy, yeah.
In a jiffy, yeah, I like that one. BitIce, the only team really remaining out, along with... Actually, there's a couple of teams a bit further north. BitIce out in the terrain. Deformia Meditari as well, just atop the hill. Actually, might have spotted BitIce as well. So I'll be happy there. Next, they've got 3 players. They've got 5 kills as well. So a nice start for them. FROMHELL, they've spread out quite wide on this northern side. But if there's an SLR trained at you and it's in the hands of Unique, you're going to feel it. BitIce, again. Out in the terrain. Oh, Geki. Oh,
Silence M16 is the most pitiful sounding gun in the game.
Do you think?
Prove me wrong. Listen. See what I mean?
It sounds like someone's playing Whiff Waff.
Yeah. Sounds like someone's shooting a pea shooter. A very pathetic pea shooter at that.
To be fair, it does the damage.
It did the work in a big way, yes. And Deuces put a pea shooter in his hand. He'll probably do a lot more with it.
Unique committed to the zone, and of course it will shift to them as we move on down. SIMURGA were penalized by back-to-back out on the west, who then proceeded to all just die. But now they have Jetkill into this final circle. He's right next to FROMHELL though, and they might find it really tricky to move on in. Deformia Meditari have to move down from those silos, and they've already taken 2 knocks. Not greatest. They will just send on in. They're giving them up. They're taking the L on those 2.
Also a little bit confusing. Deformia Meditari, Cornell there. As she gets out on the wrong side of the vehicle, you can actually switch over the passenger seat, get out there and have some cover from the car, but it looks like they were just prepared to lose a couple of members whilst they made it into the northern side of the circle. Evil, also on the western side, but they're about to come into a wall of players.
SIMURGA get eliminated. Jetkill goes down. Next, still looking to vie off with Brothers Gang just north of the road.
Jetkill's still alive.
Oh, wait, what?
Actually just taking some shots back onto FROMHELL at the moment.
I thought I saw him in the kill feed. Maybe it was on the other side.
He was in the kill feed, but he was killing people.
Ah, that makes more sense as to why he's still alive then.
Yes, it does. It's all right, John. You're looking at the map.
Yeah, something like that. Evil getting pushed on to the Brothers Gang. They are not about to slow down, but they will take out Slow. It looks like the most of Evil go down too as well. Just Kazuma now left standing underneath one of the brothers remaining. Under threat from Next as well across the road. It's a real poor spot for him at this stage.
It's the best he can do though, sadly.
Look at this. Azka taking it as well to the north against MVP. He's able to get 1 knock. Might be looking to back up his teammate. But at the moment, they're just chilling. They're just holding out. The next circle will prove to be the go time for a lot of these teams, and we'll start to see that crunch. Of course, we've still got 12 teams. We're phase 5 now, Blank.
A ton of teams still in this one, but not a lot of players remaining. 12 teams and 27 players, so half the lobby is gone.
Just slowing down.
It is slowing down now. This is like Vikendi, but Vikendi on about 18 adrenaline shots.
Honestly, Los Leones' finishes are really interesting to watch. Magic, they've got the high ground here. They are exposed, though, from several different angles. If someone competes with them, you can see All In still up there. If someone looks his way, he's dead, right? He gets headshot. There's so many angles he can get peeked from here. Look at that. He
that
is
goes
so open.
Yeah. He doesn't mind, though. I mean, the thing is the playing up there is kind of safe just because of base mechanics of how this game would work. Who is looking up here, John? That's the real question. The only time you would look up here is if you were being shot from up here. A lot of other games have this type of play style. It's why playing on the high ground is kind of safe, because it is really hard to hit someone from this angle, looking upwards. It's also harder to shoot upwards. So it's not a bad spot, but I agree he is a little bit open still.
All it takes is one sniper bullet to find his skull. And that's pretty much it. He's zoned away. It is a really powerful position, though, in terms of information gathering. He'll be able to call out everything to his team. And look at how Magic are dominating this next circle as well. They are spread out, sure, but they have high ground every single time you look at where a player is. It's really, really strong. FROMHELL, Unique, Deformia, Meditari all have to push in from the north into the circle, as well as Jetgill, the last remaining player from SIMURGA.
A lot of damage.
A nade in there might just do it. The Brothers gang at risk from Naya.
Magic have had so much time to set up here in Los Leones. Down goes Old Boy, out goes Unique.
Will get taken down, but now it's Punisher to take up the mantle of the fight. Robdini wants to get that loot, but he is going to get sprayed on from the sidelines, has to duck back into cover. Get a couple of bandages on, get a stims in. But it's so difficult to move around now. With the high ground being occupied so heavily by Magic, then it's just so hard to find any sort of opening.
Yeah, everybody will be squinting the eyeballs, looking for these players, and as soon as they see movement, they'll be locked on like a heat-seeking missile.
Oh, it looks like they finally turn their eyes to the skies.
There's the that's my impression at the M16 silence. I don't know why, I just hate it so much.
Maybe it's because you keep getting killed by it. Maybe that's why. Deformia Meditari chasing up on the heels of FROMHELL, who did take a lot of damage to get into this building. If Punisher takes the fight well, he might just be able to get something done. Opens the door, goes into a side window, but FROMHELL just holding it down nicely. Deformia Meditari eliminated now on that push, and Magic still maintain aerial superiority.
As long as they can keep this up, they should be okay.
7 teams now. Zone 6 about to go to 7. Next circle.
No rage with 4 players. This is the game that they were looking for. They want to get at least into that top 3 spots. They can't go for a spot like 5 to 4. It's just not enough points for them at this stage. They really need more points right now.
SIMURGA as well, looking to close the gap between them and Unique, who did go down actually a couple of spots ago. Jetgill still going, by the way. Right underneath All In, up the top of the construction. Magic, they have 3 of their players, I believe, in the next zone as well. I think Deuces might be looking up as well to All In's position. All In's rotation is going to take a long time.
Yeah, it is. He's coming down now. Leaping. Like Spider-Man. Should be okay.
Jetgill will hear it. He might actually play spoiler.
Yeah, Jetgill getting rid of the annoying eagle that has been on high for so long.
Oh, now you're
That's a
starting
nice
to feel it
nade.
now.
Yeah.
People have figured out their locations. The split is coming back to bite them. There's no way that they can move to each other to get these reses off. Master takes a lot of damage. Thompson, though, receiving a push from MVP, one of the players anyway. Robdini is going to go down, but they trade it 1 for 1. They get the confirm. Nicely done. 17 players now alive.
I really like that pre-fire from Thompson there. That would have caught anyone who was trying to come for the refrag. Very smart indeed. Circle's so tight right now. 7 teams, 17 alive. How this circle can even contain this many players is unreasonable. Jetgill does go down, like you say, John. That is SIMURGA out in 7th.
This is urban combat for you, Blank. This is why these Los Leones circles are so exciting. We're about to see it pop off as the next phase is going to go a little bit further north, probably. See what they're able to do. FROMHELL with a really nice spot at the moment. Magic still with all 4 alive. They have now rotated in. No Rage in a similar position. The Brothers gang, they've got that duo holding out the broken buildings. Magic have to push out of this one next.
Naya does actually get back up again. Master made the long run towards his teammate. You had a friend in me, my son. Militia, though, in a decent position. Still, what a spray from Helios. Removes NEX directly.
They were right on the outside of the zone. They were getting that push pretty much no matter what as well. Oh, a northeastern shift moves towards Magic yet again. The Brothers gang in. FROMHELL, I think, are just on the edge. All In has fallen from the crow's nest down to ground and down all the way to hell as well. as they are going to be able to zone him out. Militia in the sidelines, last remaining player for MVP.
Remember, Magic currently dangerously close towards the danger zone. Currently starting today in 15th place, so this win, if they can get it, will be extremely important to them. Alleviating any fears going forward of dropping into that danger zone. It will give them a nice little buffer to play around with.
Although they might not be able to alleviate fear himself. As the nades might start to come through, he will spot out Coffin. The underarm is there, just lobs it on in. Lutz is going to feel the brunt of this, probably. One is going to go, he gets the knock onto Coffin. Lutz takes a lot of damage too. Look at all those smokes, they're trying to cover their push, but No Rage really suffering here from the circle. Fear does take a nade as well, as Lutz makes the break over to Coffin to try and get that res. Militia still going, but I think they might just have the angle. A nade up top over towards Fear yet again, sends him back just a little bit further, and Coffin gets back up.
Billy doing an excellent job to lock down Fear right now. They know they have to take ground. Lutz takes shots. Axa goes down. Odin, the last player from Brothers Gang, alive, and FROMHELL still combating Magic just beneath them, and Militia holds on by a thread.
Fear will get the heal up. He's going to have to drop down. Does he have enough HP? Just about makes it. He's going to be fine for now. Gets a bandage. He's up top. He still has aerial superiority, but Militia is there. Still waiting around. 5 teams remain into Zone 8. Everybody is so close.
Literal sugar squirrel coming from the high ground. Yeah, lovely nade onto Robdini. FROMHELL have taken so much damage, and that's them now.
FROMHELL, I think they seal their own fate there. They group up together. I think it was their own nade that took them down in the end.
Oh,
that's unfortunate. As soon as he got knocked, he dropped it down underneath them and took out the rest of his team. No Rage going for the push now. MVP do fall as well. Brothers Gang holding it down. Magic as well into the fight. Lutz now last remaining live for No Rage. Magic still up top. 3 teams remain. The Brothers Gang have 1 to go. It's Odin, and it looks like they might be able to get the res as well. The zone is shrinking. Magic are getting those reses off as well. It's just Lutz. There's no way that Helios gets up here. He will spot it. Fear gets the call out. They should be able to turn the corner, go for the fight. He's going to be watching up top. The Brothers Gang, they're up to all of their duo as well. They have the wall, but they need to push out. They might need to go up and into the blue, but look at this. It's some high ground found. We'll be able to spot out Fear. As Magic are starting to push in. No Rage trying to take the fight. Master goes down, but Helios gets refragged. Oh, he drops down just a little bit too early. The Brothers Gang getting eliminated as Magic continue to roll it on forwards.
Indeed, just Odin on the high ground here. Magic, really strong position. The circle will begin to push Odin out very, very shortly, and there's no way they can continue hiding up on this high ground, John. Literally surrendering right now.
Oh, man.
He knows that Magic are about to pull the chicken dinner from the top hat.
He's styling. He knows he wants this on YouTube. He wants those clips. Look at him go. He's dodging bullets, but none have sent it his way just yet. And he takes a little bit of a lie down.
Odin. With that eye that can see the future, he knows his end is near.
I don't think he can vault over this wall. Yeah, here he goes, and out he goes. Magic with a 0 rotation game, end it in Los Leones with a dominant aerial performance, coming in with 13 kills. A real nice performance from a team that really needed to try and put in that work and send themselves up the table.
This laddering from them will be really helpful going forward. They were just towards the bottom of the table, staying out of the danger zone by the skin of their teeth.
Yeah, 15th at the start of the day.
And this will fatten them up a little bit in terms of points. So be very happy about to weather the winter going forward in the semi-finals for Europe.
The need to kill count as well puts them in a really nice position. I love this push from FROMHELL. I have to give it to FROMHELL. I think they had a really good game there. Controlling so much ground and even right to the end. Unfortunate that the nade got knocked out of Rabini's hands with an enemy nade and blew his entire team up, but that sort of thing happened. Yeah. It's unfortunate.
They were all gathered around him saying, "Oh, what's wrong? What's wrong, Robdini?" And Robdini's like, "No, get back!" And then they all died.
Stay back.
I can't believe they would clip this. Just for me.
Just for you.
I know. Get off the screen.
I hate the M16.
I hate the M16.
It's such a bad sound.
I'm actually a troglodyte.
Yeah,
It's
you
unbelievable.
are. You are so...
Sorry. I apologize.
Oh dear. Well, Magic should apologise for putting the hurt so hard on so many of these teams. Really nice final circle. Actually, No Rage suffering heavily there. Going out before the brothers.
I like the little the grouping they had at the bottom there. They knew what was up. They knew what was good. They were just like, we'll take the win, boys. It's fun.
We'll take it. We'll take it.
Yeah.
Nice dancing coming out from Odin, though.
Yeah, Odin took the L, but he did it in style.
Absolutely. 33 points coming in from Magic. A nice chicken dinner going their way. The brothers gang. 20 points for them. That's more than consistent. That's a good score. That's a great score, in fact.
Yeah.
They're going to be dead chuffed with that. FROMHELL, 18 just below them.
They are seriously just a dark horse in this whole race, in my opinion.
No, really are.
Because they don't feel like they're up there. But if you focus on them, you're like, these guys are actually doing fairly well.
Yeah, they're consistent, as we were saying. SIMURGA a little bit too far down the table for their liking, but they get 2 more points than Team Hope. So they will stay out in front for now. Not too much to do to close the gap in front of them, though, with Team Unique, even if Unique did go down with 2 points. It was a real massive game that Unique had before.
Heroes IceX have had a pretty terrible day so far.
Yeah, hasn't been the greatest.
I don't know what's going on. Maybe it's mentality. These losses have really put them on the back foot, and they're unsure how to play it forward. Again, lost Leona's finish. Kind of a difficult finish to get your way into, especially if you're a little bit too far away. And Heroes IceX, they just weren't able to make that rotation. We've got total scoreboard on the screen here. Team Unique hardly move too much.
They didn't get too many points in that last game, of course, but they still have a pretty solid lead coming up to, I think, 26 points, if I'm not mistaken. Difference over SIMURGA. And, of course, you've got the next two. Next is slowly creeping up, though. Don't count them out just yet. 148, really quite close to trying to leap over Team Hope and trying to challenge SIMURGA as well. FROMHELL, they're a little bit further down, and it drops off quite significantly down to the brothers gang, but they send themselves up into 6th with that performance.
And Magic
putting in now the 10-point average over the course of these games. They have a chicken dinner as well. These, as you said, a dark horse potentially.
Magic here in 8th now is a really happy position to go up to by 3rd match of the day.
Yeah.
From that 15th spot. What we've got to remember, guys, is that all these teams are going to be playing up to 12 matches, but there are teams on the next pages who have only played 8. So getting up to the 8th spot, although for me saying that they really need these points, it doesn't feel like it because they're in 8th place. It does actually mean a lot here because there will be teams chasing them tomorrow, and they need to get enough of a lead that 4 matches doesn't allow these teams to leapfrog them too much.
Yeah, it's going to be... it's quite tricky to read these tables sometimes because of the different number of matches in terms of how safe you are. You can sort of think that the top 4 are going to be okay, but then after that, it can all just shift around completely hectic. But teams on this page with 11 games played, they are at risk, absolutely. Deformia, Meditari, Kaos, Evil, Esports, if they don't leave this page by the end of the day, they are really down on their luck, because then they're only going to have 4 games to try and improve that average, improve that scoreline. And at the moment, they're sitting under 5 a game sometimes.
Yeah. Deformia, Meditari, Kaos, Evil, Esports, all whispers of a team so far. They really haven't said much, sadly. We are going to have our kills leaderboard coming up. Not really moving around too much.
All of these teams did go out relatively early into the game, not really posting good scores. Well, not posting great scores. And obviously these players not really getting too many kills either. So the leaderboard doesn't really change. They're still way above everybody.
Yeah.
A lot of these teams. 30 kills from Morteza still atop.
Yeah.
Fair enough.
You're happy with that.
Yeah. You're going to be okay with that. Again, though, I have to flame back to back because I think...
You flaming them?
Yeah, that was poor. That was...
Are they on the grill right now?
They are on the grill. They are under my burning gaze right now because they really fluffed that one, and they ruined SIMURGA's chances as well to have strength with only Jekyll surviving.
You can't get it, and neither can we.
Yeah, exactly. Well, unfortunately, sometimes that's just the way the cookie crumbles. We're going to find out who's going to get the last chicken dinner of the day when we come back. But for now, we're going to head to a break. Don't go anywhere.
See you soon.
Knock 2 go through as well as Zezzy chimes on through. And now on the back it's Daddy to get shut down. Beautiful stuff coming in from the footballist. There's your ump flank. Only the last player remaining for the footballist now, Blank. They have 7 kills. They're the 9th team in. And it's 1 versus 1. The spray from the Vector not quite landing. They got the suppressor on there. They have a little bit more time for Anashi. He pushes around the corner, takes a little bit of damage, but the reload, oh no!
So SMG, you're going to be very wary of a lot of crashes about to come their way.
Yeah. Speaking of crashes though, it's Heroes IceX straight into the open arms of the Romania team, but Silas.
A little bit of the pressure right now.
Solus goes down, Heroes IceX, they're getting peppered. Hope are there on the sidelines. FROMHELL. Unfortunate position for them. They get taken down, they get rotated on by Evil, and in goes the fight. Bro, taking it to the footballist.
Oh!
Okay.
The pan, oh, it's the nade. Oh no, it's just a smoke, just a smoke, just a smoke. He doesn't know. He does not know. The Mad Dog lies.
Yeah.
Are they just going to leave him?
I think they might.
Oh, they've given him a smoke as well.
That's so good for him.
Is this a 5-player team? What are we seeing here?
A few moments later.
And IND are just giving. Oh no, he's going to spot that. No, he does. Surely he didn't.
Come on, Slayer.
Oh my goodness.
It's in your namesake. You've got to take him down, son. Mad Dog's
way.
still there. This guy is literally free soloing right now.
He's solo squatting.
12 seconds later.
Right here, Salty Squad also taking down Godlike. I think they've done a great job to stay into it, but can Mad Dog just stay here? He is now.
Do you think he can jump in the vehicle? If he gets in?
It will take you. Oh no, he's actually taking the shot.
Oh, he's not quite able to get the knock. First one, swaps weapon, looking for Slayer.
Ooh, we almost got a run over there. We got
Grego. Oh, the fake out, make out over here.
He's turning on him.
The jukes are real right now. Grego, can Grego connect over here? If I was Grego,
he's giving it up.
No,
Oh, he hasn't. He's juke back. He's coming double back, faked it. Cool.
Oh, this is it. This is it.
Oh, it has to be.
Oh!
Got him! Go on, he's knocked over.
Go.
He's got to get out and give him the BML.
Just chilling, like near the circle. They don't want to get into any fights. Especially they have executors on the same city right there. So maybe just gonna chill. And that was close. That was interesting.
Yeah, because the Nasik will be
Ooh,
dropped.
look at this.
Justice falling in. DJS is in a lot of trouble here, but Justice gets shot upon by Yai. He's one of the players trying to run away, but he still actually hits a 3. Now he will be put out and will be sprayed down, and they will be able to knock him down on the floor.
The teams that are right at the bottom. Has he not spotted Nico though? Yeah, he's just a little bit hidden. Oh, now he's going to spot him.
Yeah.
How can he not have done? He gets over the wall before he gets knocked. Fantastic.
Does get a lot of damage on the trade, but the red cannons are all over this movement at the moment.
And there they go, Critical Esports out in number 15. Actually, no, it's not even the team we're watching. That's a different team altogether, but...
Oh, that does a fair bit of damage too, knocking these players to half HP. That Molotov they threw in previously does get a knockout. This might be the signal to go, go, go. Pushing in here. There is one player just sitting on the deck, knocked out. But the Molotov is actually burning himself with it, so this is a Molotov he dropped down earlier.
hello and welcome back to the PMCO 2019 Full Split European Semi-Finals. My name is John Allen. With me, Blank. We're going to be bringing you day number 4 of these semi-finals. Of course, it's Group E and Group F taking one another on. And if you want to be taking some other teams on as well, you could play PUBG Mobile with NEX, and it will bring you a more immersive, more powerful, and more outstanding performance. Here come those glorious chicken dinners. And of course, if you want to check out some of those glorious chicken dinners that some of our teams have been winning, you can head over to the YouTube channel, PUBG Mobile Esports. Subscribe, hit that notification bell, hit every like button you can see
Ding, ding,
for
ding.
miles. And see what that will get you. I'll tell you what it will get you. It will get you a great insight into how the professional scene for PUBG Mobile is going, how all of the different regions are playing, and how they're getting along with each other. Spoilers, not very well. They keep shooting each other, but they do get points for it.
There has been a little bit of that. We actually had some sickle kills yesterday too, which were fairly brutal.
If you want to get some sickle kills as well, you could download PUBG Mobile.
Some cool kills.
You can download PUBG Mobile on your mobile devices from the Google Play Store for Android devices, and of course on iOS. Head over to the App Store and get yourself into game.
Yeah.
Get those parachutes strapped to your back and drop on towards some great games.
Absolutely. But don't do it back-to-back. Don't hot drop every single time, unless the aim is to get better. But back-to-back's aim is to get towards those top spots with those top kills. Currently, they're not doing that.
You're right. On your squeaky chair.
So I'm going to explain this very quickly because it requires context.
Okay.
I tried to get the squeaky chair replaced. When they came in to inspect the squeaky chair refused to squeak. And now I'm in the squeaky chair again, and we're on the show. Squeaky chair is squeaking. It's very upsetting.
Squeaking or squeaking?
Squeaking or squeaking, stop, please.
Well, we're going to head over to Erangel for the 4th time that these teams will have played each other on it, so they should be very familiar. Back-to-back, obviously clashing with Asterion Myth in Pachinki before. We'll see if back-to-back opt to do that again. Will Asterion Myth try and take control? We'll have to wait and see as the plane will take to the skies once more. Stop squeaking. You're just having a squeaky time.
This is the squeak that announces the game.
Okay. Just can you just stop? I hope that they can actually hear this, by the way. Because otherwise we are just insane.
Yeah. Match number 4 coming right at you. Ooh, a little bit of an interesting playing path here, coming from Sosnovka up to Lipovka. Ryan. Vidice can be a little bit unhappy about this one because they're going to drop out a little bit late towards their usual spot in Lipovka over here. Evil tend to go to Sosnovka, but you will expect them to be contested right now. And Unique, they've got a long run up to Georgia Paul should they want to go loot up front.
Yeah, these teams out early, more than likely going over to Primor's very clear location. Heading out north. Evil, as you say, tends to head to Sosnovka. He should be okay with it. The drop about to happen for Shinki. There's Asterion Myth dropping out. Can't quite see back-to-back's colour, not just yet. It is the bright green. It's there. Oh yeah, there it is. Parting underneath Unique and the Brothers Gang. They go to Pachinki again, Blank. We'll see if they're able to win it out this time.
This time for sure, guys. This time for sure.
Oh yeah, let's go again.
Okay.
Do exactly the thing that lost us quite a lot of power. But in Primorsk, actually, there's 2 teams. We've got SIMURGA and kaos. kaos, one of the lower down teams in the tournament right now, taking on SIMURGA, one of the top ranked.
Yeah. We'll see how kaos pans this one out. They're already in the danger zone. They need to step it up. Step it up in a big way. There we go. Western Circle. Directly on top of Gatka. Very central over here. On top of Ruins Gatka. Really going to be interesting which routes these teams take, because currently most teams are going to be coming in from the south and side. You might see HIceX move over the top past Saverny, past shooting range, down the bridge over Georgia Paul into the circle. Try and take control of Everest early on.
Back-to-back.
Got to see what happens though.
Back-to-back split down the middle over in Pachinki. 2 players and 2 players. Lunatic will find it. Probably going to be able to spot this one out. It's just not what you want to see for back-to-back. FROMHELLL, though, they take the first knock. That's over in apartments around school.
Ooh.
The machete.
Wow, that's really mean.
Okay, a couple of kills coming through. That's the confirmation for Punisher. able to get that. That's, again, just over to the east of Rozhok, near apartments, near school.
Yeah, Apson School is very contested right now. And it is one of like the best drops from that location to get very much looted with a lot of rotation paths out of there.
MVP taking heavy casualties, actually, going very, very low. I think 3 of them have gone
They're
down.
split in a big way, which is the sad thing.
Yeah, although it does mean that Militia will be able to survive for a little bit longer anyway. Zodox will have Angle onto the Lunatic for now. As back-to-back do start to take the fight with Asterion Myth. They've lost this one earlier today. We'll see if they're able to remount, re-strategize, and have a little bit better luck moving forwards today. Unique went all the way up to South George, and they're going to be really happy there at the moment with this zone. Hope taking the fight with Unique, and a lot of early fights going on. That, of course, is not the Unique setup that's actually in with the rest of them. That's all the way south, down south of Quarry, near Ferry Pier, sorry. So they've actually taken a huge split as Old Boy goes up against Matic and gets the punch to kill it out.
Is he doing an Old Boy again?
He's doing an old Boy.
This is very Old Boy. Old Boy tends to...
I like the new Old Boy.
I like the new Old Boy.
It goes with you, Old Boy.
Not like the Old Boy. Pretty sad. But, you know, Kanye West's a pretty good rapper at the end of the day.
Thanks for just saying that.
we'll see if Unique Old Boy can wrap it up on this south side.
Ooh.
He needs to head up north, to be honest with you. I don't know why he does it, and he's done it several times. And the annoying thing is he's been quite successful at removing like one player, and then he leaves. He must be the most frustrating player to go against.
This is the thing. The plays he makes should not work. And more than likely, against a solid global roster of teams, it won't work.
But he has a 90% success rate in Europe at the moment.
That is also true. And also, he was one of the top fraggers in the global stages as well. So, I mean, this guy can frag out for sure. And I think he's just kind of relying on that really, really heavily and potentially playing worse strategically because of it. But on the flip side, because of that, nobody's sort of expecting it. No one's coming up against it thinking, oh yeah, Old Boy might be here. Because all of a sudden, he just rotates through. He is rejoining with the rest of his team.
I mean...
So thanks, B.
This is better than most of the time. Most of the time, he actually hangs around and plays Wolf to a lot of these teams and just stalks around the fields. I think they've had more success as 4. So it looks like last match of the day, they've let him do his thing, but they have pulled on the leash quite hard here. And he's come back up to Georgia 4.
They've given him a right good talking to. And he's back with the rest of the squad. At the moment, there's quite a few standoffs going on. I mean, you've got the Rozhok standoff, you've got the Pachinki standoff, you've got the Primorsk standoff.
Again, though, John, just take a quick look at the western side of the map. It's exactly the same as Erangel, the first game. None of these compounds taken, and the plane path was very much favored towards taking these compounds near Gatka, near Quarry, and also Ruins. Very confusing.
Well, we'll have to see if anyone's going to shift it up, but they're not for now. They have no choice in the matter. Kaos. They did take a knock onto Gazi, as SIMURGA did try and push on in. Morteza takes a little bit of damage, but will be safe for now. As the rotations do start to come through. Deformia and Meditari taking heavy punishment in Rozhok, and actually so are next. A lot of teams taking heavy fire, but Kaos try and get the spray through the window. One goes down. Panda tries to get strafed, but no, they will fall. They'll lose one. They should be able to get the res as well onto Morikwen. As they do just follow it on in. 2 players now for Kaos. Sorry, 3.
Yeah, I actually like that play from Mizaki. It was a pretty decent spray. Just wasn't B. This is a nice molly.
I like that a lot. That should do a lot of damage on board. Deformia Meditari still fighting over in Pachinki now, as we do swap on over, away from that fight. Punisher has gone down, but they have the high ground. They go out, they burst wide, and oh my goodness me! Mello on a sliver of HP, able to take down 2. Next, going huge against Deformia Meditari.
That was a very nice spray there.
I want to see that from his perspective. I don't know if we can, but really, really nice stuff. 2 knocks onto SIMURGA. Oh, he's going to get the confirm. He's going to be mean about it, Morteza. You cheeky bugger.
Well, he wants to get towards the top of the kills leaderboard again. I mean, this guy, he hasn't got any kills in a little while. Now he needs to pad those stats. Coursera, on the other side, Jet Gill is currently preventing him from doing too much. Panda and Moriquen both are down. They're on a timer right now, and Jet Gill knows he needs to make his way across.
They're not getting Moriquen up.
But I don't think they're going to go across and get them, either of them, to be honest with you. I think Panda and Moriquen both are dead.
I think Panda may be in with a chance if Chaos don't push on to their location. But the fact that SIMURGA have taken such heavy casualties against such a low-down team is really, really unfortunate for them. Panda does go down, so now it's 2-2. This is a similar situation to we saw the exit from Pachinki earlier on with Asterion Myth and back-to-back both down to 2 and no one really winning, essentially. Although Asterion Myth did get pretty late into the circle with
We
some lucky
literally
shifts.
cannot see back-to-backs any colors from them because they're pretty much directly underneath Asterion Myth on the map. So you can be sure a fight's going to break out over there sooner or later. But more often than not, what will happen is that Asterion Myth and back-to-back will just look at each other menacingly.
This is a really good pickup for the Brothers gang. It's an M249. A really, really strong gun. Can do so much work for suppression and keeps everyone just down for such a long time. You could just hold down the trigger and people will sometimes just re-peek into you a lot of the time because they don't think that there's that many bullets to come their way, and unfortunately for them,
No.
there's an LMG.
Because you're waiting for the reload on it. It just doesn't come through. Magic currently taking a fight with BitIce. Both teams taking some sad, sad knocks. But that fight's yet to conclude. Here's IceX looking for a little bit more of a safe game. And they're going to take the compounds that are near Gakka, near Chopstick. So this is fine. Here's the fight between BitIce and Magic right now. Fear desperately trying to stay alive. Magic just coming off a chicken dinner. They do not want to go out early because that'll mean everything was for naught on their last game.
There's the SLR. Oh, they've been spotted. Fear gets taken down. Motvik doing a lot of work for his squad. I think it's like, looks like they're both just down up there.
Yeah, the rest of Magic are currently coming in, but you highly doubt that they get to either of these boys.
Yeah, it would be very, very difficult to get in there. Motvik doing so much work from that compound. No one's really going to challenge it. But in they come on an off angle.
They are the cavalry.
They are literally just rolling straight on through. Okay, that is bold. That is a play.
Master was like, look, I'll try and figure out what's going on, and then potentially I'll save you. And then he came and was like, nope, I'm gone.
Nai is there as well. I think they did want to roll in. But we go back over to Pachinki, where back-to-back are fighting off again against Asterion Myth.
Prolord just patterns the ever-living daylights out of the back-to-back player. That's upsetting.
Oh dear, it's unfortunate. The two Magic players atop the hill did just get confirmed as well in that fight that we jumped away from. Poser just pushing through. Will see Kaki behind the tree. They'll be aware now of his spot. They can take some high ground and try and take that position. Back-to-back just pinned in a single building.
This is just shameful. I'm not going to lie.
They haven't left Pachinki now. Like, this should be the time. I mean, 2 games ago should have been the time where they leave Pachinki, right? But now Asterion Myth are taking what they're owed.
I mean, the good thing is Asterion Myth are at least learning from their mistakes. When they take Pachinki, what they were doing before is making too early of a push. Morteza needs to get out of that.
Oh, he needs to get the heal on because the blue will tick him just a little bit. It's only zone 2, so we will be able to get the bandage on and then get the first aid.
Oh,
nice
you
drop down.
cheeky blighter.
Oh, that's huge. Coming in from the guys up top, but Chaos do go down finally. Still going on. Nice drop down, but not quite able to finish it out. Big ratings on that one. Back to back. Again, just trying to figure out what they should do. Quite frankly, there's not a lot they can do in this stage.
Indeed. That was back-to-back falling to the floor after an upsetting time here on Pachinki. Like I was saying before, Asterion Myth at least have learned. They took too many early pushes, in my opinion.
Yeah.
Wow, Morteza actually goes down to the play zone. And here instead, they're just playing it safe because they know back-to-back do not have the greater positioning over them. And they can just take an extended fight with them. And they're happy to do that. They don't need to push into them where, to be fair, back-to-back sprays are pretty decent.
They know that as long as there's a firefight going on, no one's going to push into Pachinki, right? A heavy southern shift on this next circle.
Yeah, a bit of a yoink here. Just go down to Ferry Pier and all of the fields down that way. There is also the large mountain, like on the western side of the circle. And there's a couple of compounds around there which are relatively safe, but it means that getting in here via a vehicle on the western side of the circle is pretty hard because it's quite hard to traverse that area.
It is pretty tricky. Unique took position up on the top of Everest from the south of Georgia Pole, sorry. And now they're moving down to potentially challenge FROMHELL near Gatka and Gatka Fields as well for that northern side of the circle. But Asterion Myth still in this standoff. They will now have to break that. BitIce and Magic are waiting in the wings as well to try and make those rotations harder. And what I'd like to see Asterion Myth do here is break this deadlock and actually potentially rotate in a bit earlier on. But it looks like BitIce are going to be the first to try and breach the cornfields. Pachinki Fields, notoriously deadly.
Yeah, it's just difficult to leave. Master and Naya, they just want to stay in the game as long as possible. That's their goal right now. They don't necessarily need to get a ton of kills. They just need to live.
That's the name of the game, really. Live longer than anyone else, and you'll get yourself a chicken dinner.
Yeah, they don't need the chicken dinner either. They just need a high ranking.
Yeah. They want to be getting about 8 to 10 points here.
Yeah, because that will keep their lead going. I mean, anything above 10 points is a victory, in my opinion, for Magic right now.
Absolutely. Asterion Myth still taking the fight. Christo, very, very low for back-to-back. They should be pretty low on meds as well. You can see Zodox has just one first aid, so he's waiting to take a little bit more of a fight. The blue zone will sweep across Pachinki imminently. You can see it just encroaching on your mini-maps. And Asterion Myth, they have looked like they've disengaged here. Back-to-back will be really hard pushed, actually, because they haven't been able to loot. They've been pinned into this small section of the compound.
By one player, no less, Poser.
Well, they don't know that. That's the thing.
Yeah, exactly.
They think that they're still potentially being surrounded by Asterion Myth. This is what I wanted to see. They break the deadlock. They move away. They go for those rotations.
Yeah, because they don't need to stay here. Whereas when we might even see back-to-back just stay in the circle again for the rest of the game. There's a team outside, guys. Don't leave. Don't leave. But the play zone. No, don't leave. Don't do it.
Well, they get a kill. They will be able to take down Master. There's no way that Naya's going all the way back there. Here is IceX in the eastern chopstick. We'll get it done and control that. Whereas Hope, I think, just have their outlook over on the western chopstick as well.
Fields are practically unplayable here. So quite a bit of the circle is actually off limits, especially with this western mountain becoming quite difficult to play with.
Although it's only really occupied by militia.
Wow, that's a pretty tough circle as well. The southern half of the circle here, again, really hard to rotate through, especially on vehicle, because everyone's going to be looking at you. Your vehicle is going to be exploded in the blink of an eye.
Name a more iconic duo, the play zone, getting knocked out by the play zone and back-to-back, because they've just taken 2 knocks to the play zone.
Oh, come on.
You can't do it, can you? You can't make it up.
I was joking. I was joking.
Well, Kaki now is the only remaining player.
I was joking.
He's going to take the L there. Oh, my goodness me.
Come on, guys.
Just Kaki now left for back-to-back out in the play zone. Asterion Myth did take a knockout in the blue zone as well. That was Poser who did go down. And he will just fall to the blue, but the rest of the team do make it in. They'll be okay there. But the circle moves east onto the zone, away from a lot of the mountain, and FROMHELL will have to push on through. SIMURGA did make their way in, so they managed to get away. So the remaining duo there will have some strength. Asterion Myth pinned just a little bit.
Yeah. They have a little bit of terrain to play around with, but not much. Naya, again. I said before, his goal is just to stay alive as long as possible. Kind of tough on this hillside, though, because he does have to come down.
Unique. Sounds like they've got themselves a DP. I imagine that's over in the hands of Old Boy. An absolute devil on it. We'll get a lot done. The Brothers Gang in the sights of Unique as well. The sprays start to come in. The Brothers Gang currently in the circle, out in the fields.
Yeah. Unique tends to be a bit of a Picasso with their sprays. Very, very beautiful to watch.
If not somewhat abstract sometimes.
Yeah, I would agree with that. Robdini does take down Morteza. Knocks him. I think that's one more player remaining from SMG now. Morteza, arguably the one you wanted alive. Half the kills on his team.
Yeah, doing a lot of work, certainly, for SIMURGA. And they have managed to move in, as you say. Brothers Gang being pinned pretty heavily in the wooden little shack, but...
It's a pretty bad spot. Like, moving away from that shack now, nigh on impossible.
Yeah, it's going to be very, very difficult. Asterion Myth taking heavy, heavy casualties as they do need to push in. Sorka's actually moved out all the way left, so it's the west. So it is just Lunatic and Prolord in this location with 3 alive total. Kaki is slowly making his way in, so back-to-back, not quite dead yet, but they did try this before, and they did go down on their rotation. BitIce might spot him out as well as they go for the push. The Brothers Gang look to be actually returning some fire over towards some of the people pinning them down. Unique, very central once more. Commendable rotations coming out from this team.
Yeah, it's a good spot. You have vision from pretty much everywhere, and there's some nice little divots there for them to hide around in. So they're happy with that. FROMHELL once again moving in from the western side.
Oh, Sorka gets knocked. Just Prolord now.
Asterion Myth they basically got shackled.
Sorry, Lunatic. Is he going to make it?
I don't know. No. I don't know what to say, though. There is nothing. There is nothing to be said.
Come on, guys. You made it to the semifinals.
You can do better.
Must be better than this.
Yeah, you can do better.
I'm not angry. I'm just disappointed.
I'm just disappointed. Yeah.
Yeah, I like really poor showing, quite frankly. Not changing their drop location, not rotating in time, not doing any of the things that they absolutely needed to do. And they just keep going down. They managed to make it to 13th, but that's a small consolation. I think they got 1 kill.
No.
So they get 2 points total. Magic getting eliminated out in 12th. FROMHELL taking a pretty heavy punishment from Hope as well. Only 1 player, I believe, for Hope. It's Horosh.
This was the circle that Brothers Gang were desperately not looking for.
Yeah.
Because now they have to move away from the small shack and do it in vehicles. And with the circle being so condensed, everyone's going to be watching this rotation. You can be sure that vehicles are just going to be having so many bullet holes in them.
Oh no, they crash straight into FROMHELL as well. That's so much damage being poured on. The Brothers Gang, though, they still have a couple of players alive. Odin is going to fall on out, and as is his teammate. They might be able to get the res off, but the blue zone will be pushing in and make it very, very difficult. The hillside being competed now on the western flank by HIceX and Evil. Sun HP pushing up. Some nades starting to roll on out. Actually, might save the day, but for now, they'll be okay.
SMG
Evil, hold it down.
Do get eliminated here, John, as well. Unique holding on the southern side of the circle. They want to clear out everyone behind them so then they can start to make the push clockwise and anti, but right now, Evil just completely out to some disgusting nades from HIceX.
A lot of open ground, a lot of difficult rotations for so many teams here, causing them to come a cropper in big ways. Unique looking to extend that massive lead that they have at the top of the table now with a really strong position of their own. BitIce over on the eastern side clashing with No Rage in entrenched warfare. Out on the west, it's a bit of a scrap. Brothers Gang is still in it, by the way. They've still got one of their players going. Militia as well, still out on the south side. FROMHELL taking a little bit of a punishment from that DP, as the rest of the Brothers Gang do get eliminated by the blue zone. This compound now being contested really very heavily. Nades going in left and right. Horosh so close. I don't know if he's going to have spotted it. The snakes meet. Who will strike first?
MVP out, and both these players are bearing fangs. Actor currently has a slightly bigger fang, though, with a DP in hand, but he is just flipping around. I'm surprised Horosh hasn't seen it. It looks like he is just over the ridge a little bit. Deuce is down. Unique having an excellent game so far.
Oh, look at that. He's right on the edge. Horosh must know.
No,
Horosh must know.
Horosh can't see him. He's currently just down the hill. Someone else can see Exa, though.
Taking fire.
Shimmy as he might.
That's Unique.
He's dead.
Yeah, they spotted them out. And Horosh will get spotted as well. Oh boy, picks up the second there for his team. Unique clean up 2 easy kills, eliminate 2 teams in the process. A nice little pickup there, but here is HIceX now starting to move down south. They have control of the west side of the zone as this compound that was being fought over by both BitIce and No Rage will have to leave.
This is where HIceX start to shine, is when they can dominate one zone in one of the smaller circles, they know exactly what to do. They are probably the best team here to go up against Unique. I think they have a shot, and it'll be a really good opportunity for them to ladder up in terms of rankings.
Well, Nico goes down, pushes up close, and Billy finds it with the AKM close range. The rotations do need to come through, and they're going to do just that. Motvik trying to hold the back lines, but Billy is there. We've seen what he is capable of against the other push, but moves from UAZ to UAZ, pushes out wide, looks for a shoulder. Still plenty of bullets in that magazine and does a lot of damage to Motvik. He's going to push on out, and actually Homer might try and pick up a little bit more. Look at this coordinated play, but he needs to be worried out to his left flank. Might try and take the fight, has to run for cover now.
Loses the helmet in the process, and only has a level 1 vest. The circle might just kill him, yeah.
It's a lot of damage now. We're into phase 6. Unique continuing to clash with HIceX, but only one knocked apiece. Old Boy pushing out in front as the rotations come in from No Rage. Motvik trying to crash on in. Will get spotted. And Billy will go down, as we said before, out in the blue zone. No Rage now have control of the north.
HIceX still have to move in. Helios removes Motvik from the game. That is BitIce now out. And here comes the push across. Does he make it? Yes, he does. Kitsune potentially back up here, but Son HP takes a nasty shot from Coffin from below.
3 teams remain, and they are 3 very, very strong entrants as well. Some of the strongest in the group stages, some of the strongest here as well. Coffin, a huge fragger for his squad. Makes a really risky break to the bushes, tries to use that hedge line to his advantage. Unique behind the ridge line will just peek up. Spot out 2 of them. The rogue goes down. Helios does the work. As Old Boy does a little bit of work of his own. Akif just about stays safe.
Loot crate comes down. Cover for late game. Not necessarily loot here. Old Boy drops up. Going to try and finish off Silas.
Nice.
Selim goes down to Helios. No Rage. Despite having to move across this awful ground. They've taken 1 knock, but they've got a few kills in the process. Might just have made this game a lot easier for Unique right now,
Unique have got so many kills on board as well. Just between Old Boy and Rogue, they got 10. Fantastic stuff coming in. No Rage as well with Coffin on 3. 8 kills for them. No matter who wins here, it's going to be a pretty decent kill game. Unique need to push in a little bit further towards that loot package as well. As Old Boy holds down this left flank against HIceX, potential push on in, who have lost so many members. They're only down to a Kif now. A No Rage flagging down low, and it looks like Unique are set up, poised to take a second chicken dinner for today.
Yeah, they just fell short on Erangel. It looks like they're trying to finish the race here. Yakif, terribly low here.
Oh, the nade from Old Boy will close them down. 14 kills come online for Unique. They're looking for 1 more, though. They're hungry. They will find it. They burn on down, and they burn bright. 15 kills coming out. Old Boy with 7, Rogue with 6. Huge numbers being posted by this squad. And my, they're going to extend that lead to something awful.
And you got to remember, Team Unique started that game off cheeky with Old Boy, hitting Zumba straight away before rotating up to Georgia Paul. Getting the highlights on your screen right now, seeing the drop as it happens, but well played to Unique. Well played to HIceX. HIceX could have potentially had a chance there. Unfortunately, they were kind of sent away by No Rage. No Rage put the hurt on them. I think No Rage would have got 3rd either way, but I think if they maybe could have taken a few more players and Coffin could have just made that run a little bit quicker, potentially No Rage get to that 2nd spot. It was a wild chance, but I think in all aspects, out of those 3 teams, it was almost certain that Unique was taking it.
Yeah, right towards the end there. If No Rage had probably 1 more smoke, they might have been able to cover that push.
Yeah.
And actually have a little bit more strength. Maybe being able to take position and HIceX were in. But even then, Unique had the advantage against that as well. It was a really, really tricky circle for everyone involved. So fantastic stuff for Unique to come in, get a 15-kill chicken dinner coming off of their earlier, I believe, 18-kill chicken dinner.
38 points,
so
yeah,
they
ridiculous.
Have a huge, huge day today, and they're poised for massive success. I think they've done enough to see them through to the regional finals already. So there we have it. 35 points on the board.
Team Unique blasting off again, but this time in a good way to the stars.
Oh, yeah.
And to the front of that rankings.
And that's what HIceX wanted as well to finish out the day. A good, solid performance, 15 points coming in. A couple of unfortunate positions for them. BitIce as well will be happy to get those 10 on board, but they were pretty low on the scoreboard, so we'll see where that ends them up. SIMURGA down on 7, and the Brothers Gang as well. They are featuring on this first page, as they are almost always.
It's what we want to see from them. And they took a very heavy beating on the way into the circle itself.
Back-to-back deserve 0 points.
John, don't be mean.
I'm going to be really mean. They're going to continue to play like that. I'm going to be mean.
You're going to be mean?
Yeah, absolutely.
That's fair enough. It's fair enough.
Actually, take points away from them.
Asterion, if they were free,
don't do that.
Evil Esports.
Just as a disclaimer.
There's a disclaimer. Don't do that. That would be actually mean. And Magic going out in 16th there is not what they wanted. So really, that lead that they just gained, kind of taken away from them. I mean, now they just have the average points from both games.
218 kills coming out from Unique. Points, sorry. 94 kills. Huge numbers. 124 placement points and 4 chicken dinners. These guys are not going to stop.
Yeah. You've got to think that they have won a third of their games here. Yeah. They have got a chicken dinner for a third of their games, which is a huge percentage. It's kind of crazy to think about. SIMURGA coming in second, but I've yet to find another chicken dinner from that first day that they played. Team Hope 159, holding on to the third spot despite being brutalized by Old Boy in the beginning.
Just to put this in perspective, on these group stages where Team Unique had incredible dominance there as well, they had 215 points over 12 games. They've now upped that by 3. And they're consistent, right? They're consistently getting that. I mean, within 3 points over 12 games. That's a really tight average.
Yeah, and I think when we see them towards the beginning of the semifinals, and I berated them a little bit for the strange rotations, I mean, they're still doing very well. And I think because you expect so much from this team, minor mistakes seem a lot more. Here we are on the second page right now. Magic there in 9th place, but like I was saying before, this could quite quickly go away because there are other teams here who are looking to ladder up. Obviously, Footballers there with 8 games played. They're only looking at 17 points behind Magic, so Magic could fall off quite a little bit after tomorrow.
Yeah, as we said before, it's around that 8-point average that you've got to be looking for. So Magic kind of quite close to that. So they're right on the border there. Everyone below them will be at risk as well. Anyone on 12 games, that is. The teams on 7 and 8 games here, specifically 7 for Cream Esports EU, should be okay because Cream Esports EU have had 8 games essentially. They've had 8 chances to play, so they are a little bit low on those averages, but they still be able to kick it up. Of course, Deformia, Meditari, Kaos, and Evil Esports, all very, very unfortunate to be here now, right down in the red zone. Deformia, Meditari have started to pick up their feet a little bit, but I think it might just be too late for them.
It may be. It may be. Again, they have 4 more matches to play, but like we're saying, there are another 5 teams there with only 8 games played, and they're ready to literally pounce on them.
Yeah, let's flatten out the kills leaderboard, though, a little bit, as Unique posts some really big numbers there to bring them up, and in contestation with Matic and Morteza, who were streets ahead earlier, but now not so much after SMG, and Hope had a little bit of a lackluster last game.
Just round the block now, not too far away, literally in walking distance. Matic not doing too much. Hope has kind of fallen off a little bit recently, gone to the back of the train, but hopefully they'll be back in the driving seat soon.
I think they've done enough as well. That's
exactly.
Like, by now, they are going to be okay. Unique, SIMURGA, and Hope, I think, probably going to be just fine. I think Next as well have been able to send themselves up there quite.
Yeah, Next has done really well, actually. I've actually enjoyed watching Next play. They're a team that surprised me in the semifinals because we didn't see too much of them when we were watching the group stages. But coming into semifinals, like, they've really flipped the coin on its head. So it's nice to see such improvement for a team go from group stage to semifinals. And that's exactly what the PMCO is really about at the moment, is that you want to see teams come into it, go through the group stages, improve, get onto that semifinals, get onto the regional finals, try win out there, and then try your hand versus some of the best teams in the world. And really, at the end of the day, it is a journey for a lot of these teams, and it's just beautiful to see them improve like this. I love it.
Yeah, it's fantastic. It's fantastic stuff. Of course, if you want to keep up to date, you need to stay tuned to the YouTube channel where you can subscribe. PUBG Mobile Esports, of course. But that is going to be it from us today. We've had a great time. I've been John Allen. With me, Blank. Is going to be taking you through the rest of the semi-finals as well. So we'll be back tomorrow for the second to last day, the penultimate day to set up those games, set up those score totals for everybody else to try and compete with. It's going to be great. It's going to be bloody. It's going to be quite hectic indeed. Chicken dinners abound. But for now, we're going to be headed off. Make sure you do stay tuned. Tomorrow we'll be back. But for now, good night.